back. We are live. It is the Ball Don't Lie podcast coming to you from the crib once again. Today we're going to be talking about Eastern Conference standing predictions. I'm going to be discussing stuff from Media Day, some of the headlines going around the NBA season in full swing, right around the corner.
Preseason starts this week.
Exactly. So let's get into it. Let me pull up this agenda right here on my phone.
Lakers play on Friday. I'm going to Palm Springs. Who's coming?
Nobody.
This Friday?
Yeah.
Damn, you should have said something like earlier.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I'm not going. I was just yapping.
Right.
I think they're like a few $100, bro.
Damn,
Honestly,
nigga, bro.
Yeah.
Warriors are playing in Hawaii. I'm going.
You're going to Hawaii.
Nigga going to goddamn Hawaii.
Listen, you don't even go to Clipper games, bro. What are you talking about?
Nigga
This
ain't
is
going
the
to
year.
Hawaii, nigga.
All right.
We should go to one as a gang. A game.
We should, bro.
We'll do a vlog.
Let's get to it, bro. Let's
Clippers and Wizards
on the agenda.
Right.
No,
Courtside, facts.
Hell yeah.
Let's get it, best.
all right. Let's talk
Courtside,
about
Jordan Poole cooking. Imagine. Gonna make some lyrics.
They're gonna pan to us as the baddies when they do the edit.
Nah, that's crazy.
Hey,
Nah,
that's
crazy.
so Diddy, Huss. That's crazy. Like, see, I didn't say that shit. That's so Diddy.
You see how I didn't say that?
Yo, Huss is a Diddy disciple. Okay, I'm done.
Christ.
Oh man. They will have the camera on Omari. Honey.
Like,
Dun, dun, dun,
Start
dun,
folding. All the Hess.
Out of hand. Okay.
Said he stuck with it.
All right, come on, Bess.
We're ready. We're ready,
You guys
Bez.
got it. You guys got it.
We're ready. We're ready,
bro.
We're ready.
Let's talk
Yeah,
about the
transition.
trade that went down. Karl Anthony Towns going to the Knicks for Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo, and a first-round pick. Kind of came out of nowhere, but right before Media Day, dropped the bomb on us. The what do you call it? The sham wow? What are they calling him now? There's no Woj bomb to it.
Oh, that's a cool name.
Yeah.
So,
Can't do Shams bomb.
yeah. Sounds a little racist, but what do we think about the trade? What do we think about the trade, Cat, going to the Knicks? Let's start with the Knicks side. Let's talk about the trade on the Knicks' perspective. Who wants to give their 2 cents first?
I mean, I can go first, but before that, I wanted to say, the NBA has no loyalty to your guys. Cat was in the league or on the team for 10 years, and no warning or anything, and they sent him. It sucks. This is why I was saying, like,
Crazy.
as much money as possible, and Jalen Brunson is in the wrong because this organization could do the same exact thing to him. Sadly,
I don't think.
Another organization is still paying him, though.
I don't know.
Said another org was still paying him, though.
You never know. But
They
yeah,
ain't
I
doing
think
it to
this
Jalen Brunson because he took a pay cut. That only happens to people who are like given like actual contracts. The reason they moved Cat in the first place was
Because of the
because he
money.
had a max deal and
Yeah,
they
max.
were going to be in a luxury tax. So
Yeah.
with this move, they are saving money. They're saving about $20 million. So, but
smart, but
obviously-
at least give the man a heads up. It's been in your organization
Yeah.
for damn near a decade. No loyalty in this game.
Sucks.
Yeah, I wonder when he actually, like, found out, like, I guess on Twitter, right?
Minute.
Or something.
Yeah, I heard it was minutes before, but
Damn.
still not the greatest. But I can give my 2 cents. I feel like this is a great trade for the Knicks. They get spacing with Karl Anthony Towns. I think he's a better player than Julius Randle. And I don't know how this is going to work when Mitchell Robinson comes back, but it still keeps them in contention and gives them a better chance than what they had before. Yes, you lose the perimeter defense with Dante DiVincenzo, and that's a big hit to your depth. But you get another shooter with Karl Anthony Towns and a playmaker that can help Jalen Brunson score more efficiently. I feel like spacing the floor, and we'll see how this works out. But I feel like the Knicks did well overall making this trade and trying to get a championship now. So
I like the Brunson Cat duo. I think it could work better than the Randall and Brunson could have worked. But we've seen it for like what, a year and a half, 2 years now, on and off because Randall's on and off. I didn't really see anything with it, but I can see some offensive firepower coming from Cat and Brunson, at least in the playoffs come. So they would work better than Randall's game would. But yeah, just I don't know. I feel like it's like this is my lateral neutral meter. I feel like it's just a little bit above it. Like it's nothing crazy. I mean, I'm not trying to disrespect Cat or anything, but I mean they're borderline caliber wise same player, but I guess Cat is a little bit better. So you didn't do
Different
wrong.
play style too, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
different play
defensively,
style.
You won't give you what Randall gives you, but with getting the Mikal and having OG,
Mhm.
if they stay healthy, and Tom Thibodeau with how he plays defense, I think
Yeah.
Cat will be fine.
Man, DiVincenzo is a big hit for them. To be honest, you talked about the depth. I do agree fully. DiVincenzo's a really, really, really good player. Really good player. Damn.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I wanted to touch on like I feel like they mostly did this because of the fact that they got Mikhail and they have OG coming back from injury. It's like they can afford to lose. Like Randall, what even wasn't the greatest defender in the first place, but he like it's more of a hustle type of like he's gonna play hard even if he's not all the way defensively skilled like that. Cat, you know, I mean, he has his moments, but generally that's his motor is not on defense like that. But I feel like now that they have two of the like could be two like the two best defensive wings in the league, and then they're also like good on the offensive end. Like I feel like they'll be able to play more. Like they'll perimeter defense will be good enough to overshadow the interior defense. You know what I mean? So I feel like you know, and Mitchell Robinson will be there, but I feel like they're gonna try to go more towards a spacing offense, especially now that they have Cat.
Yeah, I think
Do
that's
you,
the whole.
think they'll have them both on the floor?
In some sets, maybe, but
I mean,
I
you
don't
did
know.
it with Gobert and Cat, right? So I mean,
Yeah, and
I don't
that
think-
was kind of troublesome at the
I
beginning.
don't.
And
know
Mitchell
if
Robinson isn't as
would
good
even
as
be there, to be
Gobert.
honest.
He won't be there
Yeah,
till
he could get
December. or
traded, too.
something like
Bez,
that,
I think you
right?
sound a little low in my ears. I don't know. Everyone sounds pretty loud. You sound a little low. I don't know if you want to fix it.
But
Can't
I
hear
think
me?
he was talking about.
I hear you. It's just like you're lower than Omari and Hassan by a good amount on my like ears.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
that's
same
true.
here.
That's true.
Hello.
That's
little
better.
better. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
All
better.
right. Yeah. So I was just gonna say at first I didn't really like the trade for the Knicks because I was like giving up a first round pick. You're getting rid of Dante. I really wanted to see the Nova boys, you know, kind of play together one game. They didn't really get to do that.
Yeah,
at
that
all.
was sad.
But as I thought about it, and as people brought up good points that I read online, Dante DiVincenzo, he also came out a little bit after the trade went down that he was kind of unhappy because he was going to be moved to the bench basically, and you know he played a big role for them in the playoffs. But then he had to, you know, now like Omari said, them getting Mikal, them getting OG, they kind of had a lot of wing players already. Obviously, you got Brunson's going to be on the court at all times. So kind of didn't need Dante, you know, him as a piece. He's nice. He has some big moments for them, but I think they have enough players at his position to kind of do what he does and fill in for him. As opposed to the big man, that's where they kind of struggled. You know, we kind of wondered how Julius Randle would fit in with the rest of the team. Will he play center? Is he going to be able to, like, really manage that big man role? You know, he has some limitations offensively as well. Now with Cat, you know, you do give up Dante, obviously, but you get the obvious upgrade from Randle to Cat. Offensively, he's way better. You know what I mean? Like, he could shoot the three.
Yeah.
He could play from the post. You know, not a bad passer. Defensively is kind of where I have questions with Tom Thibodeau, though. I think, you know, he already played for Tibbs before, so he kind of knows what to expect from him.
Yeah.
You know, the type of, you know, buy-in he needs on the defensive side. So I actually do like it for them because if it doesn't work, you know, you're really what other center, you know, what would they have traded for? This is probably the best, you know, the best center they could have got. And so I don't mind, you know, taking the swing on Karl Anthony. Even though he does have his, you know, playoff deficiencies, I think Randle has even more playoff deficiencies from the past. So it's like I'm totally okay with them.
And his ceiling's not as high.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But there have been moments where that's someone that don't shit on Randall too much. He shoots lights out, and he shoots. I know he shoots horrible too. But there have been times where he shot like 5, 6, 7
one
threes.
year.
Like he's done this. Like I'm not saying he's
Cat's
done
just
this.
a better shooter too. Like,
of course,
we all know
100%. I
that.
don't. Yeah.
That too,
Man.
like Cat's the only
That's
person that
champion.
Cat's the only person that won't like can shoot from the corner or doesn't have to be limited to shooting from the corner. Like sometimes Mikal or OG, or that's probably the 3-point shots they're mostly going to take. Cat can shoot all around from the perimeter, so that'll help with
Mikal
the
can make it
spacing.
all around.
I mean, when have you ever seen him like do that for his game? It's usually like a mid range or layups, and then he'll
If
take
they
it.
start him at
Shooting
the
up
Well, I've seen him, like,
top of the key threes
he
too,
could-
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
he can shoot around the arc, bro. Like, come on.
They could
Yeah,
use him
he'll
as
have- like he's gonna have to.
they could
now.
use him as like a hub, like what Sacramento does with Sabonis. If they stop him at the top of the key or at high post, and they can get some shit going where, you know, they're going around, sending some off ball screens, getting people open. Or if he has an open shot, he could just pull up and shoot over someone. I don't know. I like it.
I still think this offense revolves through Brunson, though. Even
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
they
No,
could
for
have some
sure.
plays from him, but
Maybe there were questions
I think-
before with Julius Randle because of how he resurrected the Knicks, and then Brunson came along. But now this is definitely Jalen
Definitely.
Brunson's team. Same for
So
Anthony
you're-
Edwards
You
too.
think Josh Hart's gonna start?
100% now.
100%.
They lose.
So what their lineup be? It would be Brunson, Hart,
Brunson,
OG,
Hart.
Mikal,
OG, Mikal, and Cat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Play
great lineup.
Hard at the 4 basically because he's basically a power forward.
Yeah, he's a
Small
good
ball,
rebounder.
small ball plus
Or you
Cat.
could play OG at the 4. It's not the worst thing either.
They could do 5-out offense.
But losing
like you-
Dante from a perimeter defensive perspective and depth is might be the biggest hit for them. Might be bigger than losing.
It might be, but they're right when they say they have a bunch of people that do the same thing. Like,
Yeah,
bro,
they
you
got
have
Mc-
you have
they got
OG,
McBride off the bench,
Mikal,
too,
Hart.
still.
Like,
They're not shooting at the same clip though. Is the thing.
I mean, Mikal could.
I think
Nah,
what
no way.
Dante
Yeah,
his shooting's gonna
Yeah,
be
yes,
missed,
he
I
can.
think. But I also think the guys you have can replace what he does, especially if he's gonna be a role player. You know, as valuable as his shooting is, when you're you're giving up a role player and a guy that wasn't even gonna be there to start the season because he's hurt. You know, the fit is questionable as it is. You know, you get him for a shooter, a center, a guy that's an all-star. You know, he kind of had like a resurgence here with the Timberwolves last year. And like going back to the Timberwolves, like you said, Hassan, like, you know, they just had one of their best seasons getting to the Western Conference Finals with this team. They finally made the 2 big lineup work with Cat and everything, and they just go up and trade him, which to me, I didn't like that for them because personally, you know, I would have waited one more year and tried to run it
Yeah.
back because I felt like they had momentum going. I felt like they were making some waves. Like, this is the furthest they've been since KG era, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the playoffs. So
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards only getting better. They made some additions in the offseason. They drafted Rob Dillingham. So, like, I kind of was disappointed to see that. You know, Dante DiVincenzo for sure is going to help them. I think the shooting is going to be important. You know what I mean? They get a first-round pick out of it. But I also question how Randall fits with this team. You know, he doesn't do
Yeah.
what Cat does. He can't,
From a shooting
like in the
perspective,
playoffs, we saw Cat defending Jokic, and then you got Rudy Gobert protecting the rim. Randall can't do those things. So it's just going to be interesting to see how it works for them.
But I mean, Randall definitely has an upside, or it provides like more positive, or not more positives, but his own type of positives towards that team with how he plays from a defensive standpoint and hustle, rebounding. Cat's is not as gritty as him, so I'll give him that. Plus the bully ball aspect too, from Julius Randle will definitely be an impact towards that team. And now we know fully that Anthony Edwards is a guy. If you didn't know now, like I'll leave with Cat
There's a
gone.
spider.
He's Anthony Edwards is him. And then with the roster they have coming off the bench, it might be one of the most deadly bench units with Naz Reid and now Dante DiVincenzo. And forget about Jaden Daniels too. At least he's gotten better. He can space the floor. So I do like this trade for Minnesota. I think they'll be at the same level. Like, we can't forget that Julius Randle has been an All-NBA player, multi-year All-Star as well. And so we got to take that into account, his skill level, and give them credit for, I guess, getting rid of that contract and having Julius Randle step up in that role. And I think he'll do pretty well. I think they'll be okay and be around the same as last year. Especially anticipating an ant jump. So
I think the problem with that, though, is I agree with you. I think they'll be around where they are still. But the problem is I think they want to make that next step, you know. Like, after getting a Western Conference Finals, you kind of want to take that step to be, okay, we could compete for a championship. I feel like this, not that it sets them back too much, but, like, it doesn't seem like they're upgrading overall. Yeah. So that's why I kind of feel like I don't like it. Not that the trade is bad. I think either side it's a fair trade. Julius Randle is a good player in his own right, like you said, got his own strengths, but it's just you got so far with this Cat and Gobert front court, it was working well. Like, I really did see the vision there. I kind of felt like it was going to go somewhere if they really stuck to it. So that's the only
money.
thing.
I guess they didn't want to keep that contract. Especially
some owners are cheap, man. Like, that's just how it is. They don't want to pay. I mean, I get it because it's millions and millions, like hundreds of millions of dollars extra luxury tax, but you got to try to win, right? Like, that's the name of the game.
So I guess they're making on Anthony Edwards taking the next step and the talent of him.
Daniels too.
It's just
they
weird.
probably
It's
betting
just
on him take a step.
It's just weird how, like, they get rid of playoff dropper for another playoff dropper. It's a little weird.
Cat's better in the
Cat had a good run this year.
Yeah, Cat
I
think he played very
good. He didn't
good.
play well in the conference finals.
Yeah, but like what I just said, like, they got a guy who also sucks in the playoffs time in and time out. Like I cannot remember this man having a decent game in the playoffs. Cat has had a good run.
Way worse. Like,
Randall's
Cat
had
has some
shit
series,
performances.
but Randall's not had one good playoff
That's what
series.
I'm saying. Like,
But,
it's crazy. It's just weird.
Thing is, maybe now because you're not asking as much from him, he'll perform better in the playoffs. So
Mind games.
We'll see. We got
They might not even make the playoffs.
no, they'll make the playoffs.
No,
Can you imagine?
No, they'll make the playoffs. It's
Then,
just-
yeah, like you said, banking on the development of Jaden Daniels and Naz Reid. I guess keeping Naz Reid was a huge reason why they made the trade. If they
He's
want,
probably going to start
do that
the year. Like, they're probably going to play him because
You
Randall
think
won't
so?
be ready. He's not healthy. He had surgery.
Randall's not gonna start the season.
No, that's also why I don't like it because it's like he's not even going to be there right away.
When do you know when he's expected to come back?
Sometime in the first month, but he's still not going to be there for he's not going to be there for training camp for
This
sure.
is a great segue. This is a great segue.
To what?
There's someone who is going to play opening night, who has not played basketball in how long, Hassan?
2 years, right? Since 2021.
Yes, sir. Lonzo Ball, baby.
Yay.
Shout out to Lonzo. I have
Big
no
shout out.
expectations.
I cannot wait to
Apparently
see him
he's,
play again, bro. I'm a big fan. I've
Yeah,
always
I
been a
know.
big fan.
I'm hype.
Yeah.
I
Apparently
think us
he's going
people from
back up
SoCal,
tonight.
I think people from SoCal, even though he's not on the Lakers anymore, we still root for him like heavy, you know?
Yeah, I don't know many.
Everyone
Lonzo
should
guys.
root for him after what he went
Yeah.
through.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He has a
Say
new
good
knee.
for
He
you.
was hooping too.
Got a new knee.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
said he has a
nice.
brand new knee, completely new knee.
He's like
I
a
don't
high boy now.
Playing opening night, but no back-to-backs. You think Lonzo can
take
save
it.
this Bulls team? They've been
No.
banking on him for years.
No, bro.
Dude, he's not Iron
He's
Man, bro.
over.
Relax.
For years, but
What's that mean with the backpack all hanging on by a string? Let it go, bro.
Let it go,
Yeah.
bro.
gotta go. I saw a press conference from Zach LaVine saying that cleared his mind. I guess he's locked in on this team and the development of the team. It feels like he's kind of changed his perspective.
I heard
So
about that
maybe
too.
we'll see a better roster, but
I think his value is completely cratered right now, and although he has a huge contract, he's a better player than what he's shown in the last couple of years, and I think he's going
I
to
believe
rebuild
that.
a lot of that value this year. I don't think he's some superstar, but like people are so low on him, he can't get traded to a single team. They've been trying to trade him.
Yeah,
I think it
for
was
like a
because
year
of
and
his
a half.
attitude too.
Yeah, that's true.
But at the end of the day, this team, we'll go through them in the conference standings at when we get there. But yeah, I don't, this team's not a playoff team. Funnily enough, I saw a press conference for them too, and the owner said that they're looking forward to hosting a playoff game, which that guy needs to figure it out because that's not happening, buddy.
You should have that mentality to start the season, though.
I think you got to have some self-awareness, though, because if you watch the Raptors press conference, I don't know if you saw them. They admitted, we're like, yeah, we're not going to make the finals.
You can't go.
They understand.
You can't have that mindset at the beginning of the season, though. You want to win as many games as possible, especially as the Raptors. With the Raptors players, like at least they have veterans on their team. Like IQ's been in the league for a while. RJ Barrett's been in the league for a while.
It's really vets, bro. They're like
Already
25 years
Dude,
old.
IQ is not a vet, bro. IQ is like 23.
Right.
They're
Okay,
like 25 years old, bro.
How many years in the league do you have to play to be considered a veteran?
Only is Olenek on the team? Is Olenek on the team?
Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
There's your
Tyrese
vet, bro.
Maxey's been in
Take
the
him.
league for
There's
like
Scotty
5
Barnes.
years. He's a
You
veteran,
got to
bro.
have at least like 6+
25.
years to be a vet, bro. You can't be like on your
Come on,
first.
man. I
first
feel like
that's
after
Scotty
your
Barnes.
first contract, you're a veteran. Too.
No, you're not, bro. That's
No,
crazy.
what?
Yeah.
Hassan,
That's wild.
Well, you've been in the league for over
what
4
take
years.
is this, bro?
4 years
I
is
don't
not a
agree with that at
vet
all.
though. Like you're still
but you know
like
what?
23 years old. You're not even legally
No, he's not a
able to
vet.
rent a
Hassan,
car.
he's not a vet. Hassan's not a vet. Hassan, they're not
Bro.
vets.
Is Van Vliet still there?
Hassan, like 6-7
No,
years. Come
that
on, bro. You
wasn't
gotta have
bro,
longevity.
what?
You gotta be
like,
in
when
the
did he get
NBA.
traded? When did he get traded? I know he got traded, but when?
Bro, are you
No, he's
tweaking,
signed
bro?
in free agency. He got a big contract.
You're tweaking. You're faded, bro.
Oh
You're
yeah,
mad
the 90
faded.
million, the 90 million one, right? The 90 million.
He's been on the Rockets. He's been hooping too.
Yeah, my fault. I
He's having
forgot.
an Isaac.
It's because they're
moment.
it's because they're red. It's because they're red. Nah, it's because they're red. I was
But,
confused for a second.
I feel like if you played in the league for 4 years, you already know your role and what you bring. That's veteran.
That's
No,
fine. You can
that's
know your role,
4
but you're
years
not a
is
vet,
crazy.
bro. You're
4
not
years
a
is
vet.
crazy.
Bruh. Okay, you know what you're doing.
You
Can
know,
I say that
Max
at least?
Christie, in his 4 year span will be 22 years old. Is he a
I
vet?
disagree, bro.
Okay, so
You
when he's 20, 25 or 26, Tyrese Maxey should be a veteran. He's a veteran, bro.
He's
been
not
in
a
the league for so
vet.
long.
He's not a
What
vet.
are you talking about, bro?
Dude, he's been in
And
the
I'm
league
not
for
hearing
5
this.
years.
He's going to like his
That's not
fourth year
vet,
of
though.
NBA.
Tyrese Maxey.
Bro, there's players like Lauri Markkanen and Julius Randle that don't get good until like their third team, bro. What are you talking about, vet?
That's true. But what if you're already good and you've been playing for 5 years?
Doesn't make you a
He's a
vet.
rookie
You're just
playing
young,
some
good
good
player.
players.
Yeah, you're just a young, good player. Doesn't make you a vet. A vet is like
he
6+
said in 4
years.
You're a veteran, bro.
Bruh, that's how I feel like.
Crazy,
I could be
Crazy.
wrong.
Whoa.
That's my
Is
mentality,
fucking
but
is Justin
that's the point.
Jefferson a vet? Is he a vet in the NFL?
Yeah,
Yeah.
NFL's different though, because you feel like NFL is like dog years. Damn near.
Yeah.
That is
You
I
can
guess,
be
I
look
don't
at
know.
Bryce Young. You might be out the league in 2 years. So everything is accelerated.
So he's a vet in
You
2
say
years. If
Mike-
he's still in the
you say
league, he's a
Mike
vet.
Tyson-
No, I'm using it as an example of like everything's accelerated in the NFL. So I feel like Justin Jefferson should be considered a vet for how long he's been playing.
These guys are still young, though. In my opinion, like you got to have experience. Plus, like if you're 22 years old, even though you've been in the league 4 years, like you're not a vet to me.
There's
you know
no
what I mean?
possible way
But
you're
you have the
labeled as a vet.
experience though.
That don't matter though. Like some
That's what
guys,
makes
like
you better in
development
investigation,
happens
in my
at different rates, and like especially if you're a younger person, like you get wiser with age. So it's like
That's fair. But what if you already developed like a Jefferson?
you're just a good young player. You're just a good young player. You're just ahead of the schedule.
The
I
category.
think. Yeah.
And back to the Raptors though, they have experienced players. You can't be saying that you're going to be trash with experienced players. That's just dumb to me.
They didn't say they're trash. They just said they're not making the finals.
Jacopo said, "Oh, we're not winning a championship, and we're not going to win too many."
They're
games."
not. Are they winning? They're not winning a championship. We all know this.
Is he wrong?
What's the point in pretending like they are though? Like that's what I'm saying. You gotta have
That's
some
you
type
wanna-
of
you wanna
realistic
have a good locker
expectations.
room, like presence. You're not going to say, "Oh,
Okay.
man, I know we're trash."
No, but he didn't say that. Oh, listen, Hassan, bro. If he said, okay, we're not making the playoffs, that's a different thing. But he just said we're not winning a championship, which is like
Yeah,
totally fair.
Being
to say,
real.
in my opinion.
That's being
We're not
100.
winning
Hassan.
many games
He's
either.
being
We're
100.
just trying to develop our players.
He's being
What the
100.
mentality is that? Every day when you come on the court, you should think you're going to win a game and
Real talk.
strive to
He's
win a
being
championship.
real
At least
talk.
Dude, I'm
strive
sure they're
to
trying to
championship.
win games, bro. They're not like gonna throw games, but
Hassan,
Not
he's like
playing
that's
well.
like being nonchalant.
If I know someone I'm playing
What?
with thinks we're going to be bad, why would I try like my max effort or try my best knowing that this guy thinks we're not going to be?
because you want to get
That's
paid,
the
brother.
That's
Prove
true,
wrong.
but
Money.
yeah, you're not wrong. It depends on what you want.
Dude, it's like you think Chris Paul signed to the Spurs because he thinks he's gonna win a ring there? Obviously not. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But he's never going to
He
say,
might.
"Oh man, I know we're bad." I think I just want to. I'm here just to develop the
Bro,
guy.
but it's like they're not saying they're bad. They're just saying we're not winning a chip. Greg Popovich said this last year in the press conference. He was right. They didn't win a chip. So it's like
I feel like it's different from the head coach, especially from him, rather than the player. Like,
Are you shitting on Pirtle, bro?
he's just hating that Pirtle said it.
yeah, he shouldn't be saying.
What if Kaminga said it? Imagine.
He shldn't be
Oh,
playing.
he could have. Yeah. I was gonna go kill him himself.
No, a Warriors player saying it is crazy because they actually like are okay.
Have a guy.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys
I
are
know.
borderline
Hey,
players.
like,
You guys are
The
borderline.
Raptors have RJ Barrett leading the helm.
You know what's funny? At the end
That's
of the
what
year,
I'm
you
saying.
guys might have the
It's
same like standings in your conferences. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah, but the record won't be the same.
Of course.
Yeah, so
One will be a 40-win team, the other will be like a 20 or like a 50 40.
but
Oh,
back
man.
to Lonzo.
Yeah.
I think he'll be. How do you guys think he'll be this year? Like,
MVP.
Oh,
Very
man.
minimal.
Very, yeah.
As long as he's on the court and healthy, that's all I can ask for.
Yeah. I think
think
he'll
he's
be
gonna
okay.
contribute to winning though, like straight up when he
Well,
comes back.
No, the team
Contribute?
stinks.
Yeah,
Oh, wait, what'd you
like
say?
he'll contribute as much as he can. Like,
Contribute to winning games.
No, I mean he can. Yeah, he can do.
Yeah,
He'll
the
do what he
team is
can,
stink.
but the team is stinks.
Yeah.
Like,
Is he gonna be 100 for the game he's back, or is like he's like
That's what he said.
80%? He's like
Who knows?
100.
you still need
Yeah,
a
we'll
real
have to
ramp
see.
up to game.
I'm gonna give him like a
Yeah,
month or two to get locked back in, and then I want to give an assessment.
Yeah.
But I am happy he's playing for sure.
He
I'd say a
should play
couple months.
preseason games.
Like 1 to 2
Sure.
months, so I see what he's doing, and then I'll give you an assessment. But I mean, he could average like 15, 7-7, or he could average like 9, 5-5. You know what I mean? Like
You think this hurts the development of Kobe White?
No, I think he's already
no,
solidified.
not at all.
but
Kobe's
that's a
Kobe's
two
like
guard.
solidified as the
He's a
you know what I'm saying?
two-guard. He's fine.
No, I mean not with Lonzo coming back, just with Zach LaVine being healthy, and I guess I don't know what his role looks like. But-
Well, whoever it is,
I don't
Kobe
think
White's
so.
solidified, bro.
I think Kobe White's role solidified. Like they're gonna give him his minutes regardless. They'll just try to
Yeah.
fit Zach in there.
Sure.
Maybe they'll play him at the 3. Who knows? They don't really have
Yeah.
a 3 really.
Man, small ball lineup, I guess. Right?
Zach is 6'7". Like
Team
not-
stinks.
not
You
short.
know what it is.
Yeah,
It is
it's
what it
real.
is.
And Vucevic isn't a good defender at all either. So I don't
It
know.
might get
I mean,
ugly this
I
year
I have
after
no
that.
expectations for that team like whatsoever. Like I like how
They're definitely gonna get torched on defense.
Yeah,
Can't believe they lost Caruso too.
I forgot they got Giddy coming off.
They
the
got
bench.
P Giddy.
That's actually more of a. That's gonna be more of an issue developing him than it is Kobe White, to be honest. Because you traded for him, but like it might be
learn
rough
from
for
Lonzo.
him getting minutes.
It's like now
Yeah.
Lonzo's back, bro. He's gonna be a backup. Like
Yeah, he is gonna be a backup.
you know what I'm saying? Like Lonzo's better than this dude.
No, I feel like he's gonna start before Lonzo right now because Lonzo off some serious injuries. They're probably easing back in.
Yeah.
So you think they'll bet
I
like
hope he plays in the
come off the
preseason.
bench? Lonzo.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, to start off the season, give him 15
Yeah,
minutes
to
a game
start
or something.
100%. There's no way.
Gotcha.
He's
Bro
Lonzo
hasn't played in like 100 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be
Imagine
horrible.
playing him 30 minutes a night.
Imagine him being on the Knicks. If he's on the Knicks, Tibbs will play him like 42 minutes first day back.
He wouldn't even care.
We still have the
Tibbs wouldn't even
McCall
care.
versus
First
Knicks,
day back. First day back. Nigga, you not sitting. You had enough
the
time.
greatest
See,
narrative
you've
in
been You've been
basketball.
sitting long
Is
enough.
that dude ever gonna not do? Oh, my.
No.
That's his identity.
Oh, speaking
Yeah.
of Tibbs, I mean, that relates to, like, I guess Derrick Rose in a way. Did we even talk about Derrick Rose retiring? Never mind, we did. Sorry.
No, we can talk about it
No,
though.
we didn't.
Oh, we didn't talk about it?
No.
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 Oh,
Shout out to
tripping.
Derrick
Happened
Rose though.
the
Shout out to
day
Derrick
after.
Rose.
Shout out Derrick Rose. One of the best stories in my opinion.
Unfortunately, he's not going to be a
Yes.
Hall of Famer, but you know,
Yeah,
what if scenario,
But
one
we
of
can
the
give him
truly
love.
sad ones. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
man.
feel like there should be a documentary on his.
I'll always remember that 50-point game on the Timberwolves.
Oh,
I,
yeah.
That was
I can
special.
confidently say that he's probably like the most loved player. I never see hate on Derrick Rose.
Yeah, bro. Derrick Rose, bro. I think I can
Uh,
safe say all of us grew up on Derrick Rose too, winning his MVP. You know,
Youngest
what is-
MVP ever. Ever.
youngest MVP to ever do it. Big shout out. Man,
It's like
this is really
Lamar,
sad.
Lamar Jackson. I feel like I don't know,
I mean,
Nah, because Lamar got two,
Nah,
and
Lamar-
he's like still good.
and he's
yeah,
good.
he's-
He's still good.
he hasn't got, he hasn't like
Yeah, he's
got
staying
two
good.
injuries.
But yeah, I
Dude.
feel like you can make a documentary on Derrick Rose's story with Chicago getting drafted by
Oh my
Chicago.
God. Netflix could cook with that. Wait, when is the Netflix? Sorry, when
They
is the
probably
Netflix show
are,
dropping?
bro. Did you see his retirement announcement? It looked like a damn movie. I
Yeah,
don't know if you
right.
saw the video. So they might already have some in the works. Who knows?
I'm kind of sad that the Grizzlies released him. I feel like he still would have been good for Jaw's development in terms of being
Yeah.
smarter. off the
He just didn't
court.
want to play. Probably he was just like, I'm done.
Yeah, it is kind of hard traveling and stuff like that.
Yeah. Plus, you got to practice
Up in the
still, like
morning.
actually be on the court, and like they might have to rely on him like any moment in the game. Like Derek, we need you. Ja
Yeah,
got
you
hurt
never
or
know.
whatever.
Especially with those injuries on that team.
Yeah.
Man, bro.
They said
I wish-
JJJ's already hurt, and he might not be there for the season
What?
opener. Said he got a hamstring injury.
Yeah, those take like 4 weeks to get healthy.
You know what I saw on Derrick Rose the other day on the timeline? They were like, all right, like if Derrick Rose never got injured, where is he still ranking in like, the generations of point guards? Is he still,
He wouldn't be top 5.
No.
is he like above or under Westbrook? Where would you put, you know what I'm saying? Like
Westbrook would be better
even if Derrick Rose had like a healthy 10-year caar?
because he
Average
has
never
had a historical
Yeah.
run MVP.
Actually, I think he
triple
could.
double
I think he
average.
could have been better because he had a higher IQ than Russell Westbrook. He
It
just
only has
wasn't
to
as
be
talented.
through like wins. He'd have to win like a championship or something like that.
But he was leading a team to the number 1 seed. You know what I mean? When he was healthy,
Yeah.
so you just never know.
He had a good team though. What was it? Dang at the time, Joakim Noah, Depoy of the Year. He had a good team.
Yeah, Kirk Heinrich, like they got some dogs, bro.
Tom as coach.
Yeah, obviously.
Man,
Okay.
I wish for like, man, what were we like? When did he win? He won MVP 2012, 2013,
11.
What year? 2011. Bro, we
Yeah,
were
first
12,
year
11
Brown
years
was
old.
Miami.
Damn.
Yeah, first
Should've been
Miami.
LeBron.
Brown year.
I remember him on 2K, bro, in the early days. That shit was so fun.
Man. Yeah.
He's
I
had like
think-
every sick animation,
Yeah.
bro.
You take one step,
He's
press
a
X,
guard, no?
he's just dunking.
I know.
Jump out the
Dude.
gym with him.
Literally,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah,
Man.
but shout out to D Rose.
Big
Had
shout
a good
out.
career.
Shout out. All
Let's
right, let's.
see what's next. We'll see the podcast that he makes.
But he doesn't even talk. He's not gonna
Very
do
clear.
anything.
I don't know. You have with the host.
Also, we got to say another thing. R.I.P.
Uh.
Dikembe Mutombo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that happened the
R.I.P.
other day. Rest in
Sad, but he's a legend. All-time block leader. Well, actually, I don't know if he is, but he's up there for sure. One of the greatest
I'll
shot
check.
blockers of all time.
Yeah. Hopefully the Hawks do something for him. Will never be forgotten in this game,
Yeah.
at least for me.
Yeah.
So
The the finger wag will always be like a
Right.
staple in the
Legendary.
NBA and basketball. So
Goated
like,
animation, goated.
when you shoot trash into the trash can, say Kobe.
Mutombo's
Yeah.
number 2, Bez.
finger
Mutombo's
wagging.
number 2.
yeah, who's number 1? Will or some shit?
Olajuwon. He has
Okay, yeah.
600 more than him.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
yeah,
Damn.
Hakeem is different. Yeah, Hakeem's different.
Yeah.
And then Dikembe has 100 more than Kareem. So it goes like
Yeah.
31-89,
Damn.
32-89, and then 38-30.
Yeah.
Where's Anthony
That's
Davis?
morning saying that crap.
I'll tell you right now.
Waking up and seeing it.
And then something else I want to talk about. I mean, I don't really care. I just want to know you guys' thoughts on this. AJ Griffin. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Oh, yeah.
Retired
He
and
gave
found
up
God or
basketball
something?
to follow Jesus.
Nah, he didn't give up basketball. Basketball gave up on him.
That's so
No, God.
like me for real.
He wasn't
Like
going
me
to be like anything special anyways. So
He wasn't, but respect to him, I guess. I think you could have done both at the same time. I don't know why you gotta give up hooping.
Yeah.
To fall,
I saw
Cool.
someone
But
said that
all love, bro.
He's part of a cult.
Multitasking. Yeah,
You know what
know.
I saw? You know what I saw?
He looked crazy,
someone,
bro. I'm not even gonna cap. Looks
bro,
like a fanatic.
I saw someone say he gave up. The Rockets forced him to retire and go to Gods. It's like a sacrifice. So they have a good season.
He's
win
praying for
games.
them the whole year. That's what he's going to be the minister for the
So
Rockets.
now they're gonna be a top 6 seed, and you know why? He gave up basketball.
No,
like
why
that.
sacrifice. To make Jalen Green the All-Star he should be.
Why can he do both? That's what I'm saying, man. Why can he do both?
Yeah, man. I told you the game of basketball gave up on him. He didn't get to choose that.
The game of basketball.
All right.
But imagine just like working your way all the way up to get drafted and be one of the best players in the world, and just years of work just to give it up.
He got that rookie deal though, so I think he's probably. I guess he's cool with that money that he got off that. So
shit, I wouldn't be. At least sign that one, and then, you know.
I wouldn't be.
God came down and was just like, you know, it's time to stop.
Have you seen the regular show thing? The basketball dude comes down. When he comes down, it doesn't. You're done, bro.
Yeah,
he just leaves.
I remember that. Shout out AJ Griffin, I guess. Follow your dreams.
Shout out AJ.
Yeah. All right.
Follow your dreams is great.
I mean, if that's what he want to do, bro, good for him. Like I ain't even
follow
gonna
your
hate
faith,
on it,
brother. Follow your faith.
Let's get to the standings though. Let's do it. Let's get to the Eastern.
Give an intro. Give an intro.
We didn't have nothing else.
No.
Is that all the news?
Unless you want to talk about what
Ben
D-Lo
Simmons.
said.
Oh, okay. No, fuck D-Lo.
Yeah.
I want to talk about.
Hassan, I was about to sing the song.
The only thing D-Lo said was he's a problem for the opposing team, but I'm like, you a problem for both teams. Like that's so crazy.
He said that Lakers Nation loves him too.
No, I want to talk about my GOAT.
I do like him.
Ooh, Braun and
I don't know
Brian
what.
Let him glaze if he wants. If he wants to have a little glazing segment.
But I also want to talk about just like I guess we're doing Western Conference next week, so I guess I won't talk about the Lakers' future. But I just wanted to say it was nice to see LeBron and Bronny in the press conference, and it was nice to see a lot of the things that JJ Redick was saying, and pretty much all the players pretty much addressing that Darvin Ham was trash, and it was very I appreciated it very much as a Lakers fan. I thought it was very inspiring.
That's good.
So
I was happy that I feel like they're gonna do a lot to address a lot of the issues that we had, and we're gonna have quicker adjustments this year if things are going wrong. We're not just gonna keep going out the same thing, trying the same thing over and over again.
I feel like JJ Redick's been listening to you with the 5 starting lineup, playing them.
He's just not stupid, honestly.
Omari's the interim coach.
It was a no-brainer. Yeah, like literally, I could have done that. That's how bad Darvin was. Yeah, you got me.
I like the positive sentiments about camp, or not camp, but media day. Look, everybody will look positive, and
I just think there's more structure this year, and that alone is gonna help us. Like the fact that people know what their roles are, they know what to expect, they know and this is like we see this in the NFL a little bit too. Like coaching and like leadership matters. Like last year we had none of that, and although LeBron's like so different and goated, like he needs help too. Like he's still on the court. You can't coach and play at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I also like seeing. I think I saw a report of JJ Redick like talking to D'Lo and saying we're going to give you a career year, and like him setting out the roles and telling the players what they need to do in order for the team to win is a huge adjustment. So that's good order.
Exactly.
Start the season.
Facts. All right, I just want to touch on it a little bit. We can go in more in depth
next week,
tomorrow, or not tomorrow, next week. But
yeah, I saw the Bronny interview though. That was pretty cool. And then the handshake they did, showing Bronny Jr. or James Jr.
Man, that shit, I was kicking my feet when I was watching.
What would you, if you're a Bronny, what would you call like Braun? If that was your dad playing, you're playing with your dad.
I was gonna say,
Daddy.
No, bro. Relax.
I'd say Braun too. I call him Braun.
Nigga,
father.
Nah, probably Braun. Probably Braun. Nigga, oh man. Yeah, probably. Probably Braun.
Bitch, no, I'm just kidding.
Pops.
Big dog.
Big sexy.
Hey, goat, give me the ball, goat. I'm open.
No, goat is crazy.
That's so corny. Goat is corny.
Anyone that calls him goat is crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy. No, it's not.
Imagine you saying Rui Hachimura, just call him goat.
Goat, please. Pass the ball, goat. Like, y'all just take a dick, nigga. Stop that nigga dick.
Bro, it reminds me of Andre Drummond doing the post move. That'll never be.
That's the top 5 favorite Laker moment of all time, bro.
Right.
Every team needs to sign him to be a hype man.
That was his best highlight, yeah.
As a Laker,
That was hilarious.
All right, let's get to
Jumping
the
down.
let's get to the standings because we got to go through all 15 teams.
All right, man.
Let's start with the 15 seed. All right, Eastern Conference 15 seed. Who do we got as our 15 seed in the East?
I
Start us off.
I have placed the Brooklyn Nets in this tier.
Oh,
I
damn.
think
What?
honestly, the bottom three all suck ass. I'm just gonna be straight up. I think they'll have the worst record of the bottom three. Who are you relying on? Cam Thomas and a few big men. I mean,
Cam Johnson,
Cam Johnson's great, but I mean these guys.
Benjamin
are not gonna win
Simmons.
games, let's be honest. There's a race to tank, bro. They need they're just trying to tank, so they're gonna get the next draft pick. So that's what I have.
Man, if you forgot, Ben Simmons is really good at basketball when healthy.
Oh,
I did
we're getting
forget. So did the
2017
entire
Ben
league.
Simmons.
So did the coaches. So did he apparently.
Chris Brickley, bro. Chris Brickley said he's locked in.
Man,
You
This
see the
is
videos,
where
man,
I
come on.
have a number 15. I have the Wizards here. I think, them and the Nets is probably the two bottom teams. Spoiler alert, but those are probably the two worst teams by far, in my opinion, far and wide. Wizards. They drafted Alex Sarr, but he had a hard time in the summer league. As it is already, they had no really good assets. Jordan Poole, maybe has a better year, but again, not expecting much from this team. Any development would be good. Any promise from any of these guys. They literally traded their best player, one of their best players, Denny Avdia, this offseason. So I don't expect good things, outside of developing some of their younger guys and maybe just showing that they have a future. Right now, that's all I'm looking for. But, yeah, they're going to stink.
yeah. I also have Washington here. I think they'll be the worst team in the league. Like you said, Alex Sarr didn't show any promise in the summer league, but I think he'll be developed pretty well with what they have. I think they're also going to trade Kyle Kuzma at some point in the season, and
Facts.
even at the beginning of the season, he'll just probably chase stats, and that's not going to help into winning. So I feel like when they trade Kyle Kuzma, they'll probably trade him for picks or a player that they want to develop as well. So I think they'll be probably the worst team in the league, but there's a future there, I guess. There's some pieces that they want to develop, and we'll see how they develop. So.
All right. So my number 15 is also the Wizards. Them niggas just asked. I feel like you guys touched on everything that
Great
was
analysis.
decent about them. So yeah, I'm gonna leave my. They just fucking suck. Like I think I hate Jordan Poole more than anybody in the league right now.
Because you drafted him, huh?
Yeah, he wasted a year of my time. So I'll never forgive him.
I think he'll be better this year.
I don't care.
Omari, what
nowhere
draft
to
pick
go,
was
bro,
Jordan
brother.
Poole for you? Omari.
Doesn't matter.
What draft pick was Jordan Poole in that draft?
Don't talk about it, bro. Don't talk
That
about
dude
it.
sucks. They're gonna trade Kuzma at
He
some
drafted
point.
him over KD and Braun.
And LaMelo, too.
No.
They're never gonna.
No,
Omari, they're
no,
never
no.
gonna let you forget that.
You did, because I drafted Braun, and you drafted. Yes, you did,
No,
bro. I know for a
You
fact.
drafted Poole over
drafted you?
Braun?
Who did you draft first?
You drafted in the middle. I was first. I
think-
pick.
I got
You
Tatum
got-
first round.
I was
know
first
for
pick,
a
so I
fact.
couldn't have done that.
Yeah, you got Tatum Braun, and then Omar he didn't get a chance.
Wow.
Yeah, I should have
No,
got
but
KD. but-
you got KD in the third round.
No, I should have got. Yeah, that's because he had back to. I was second.
First.
I was
You're
second
first, I was
actually.
second. Oh.
No.
Who was your first pick, Omar?
'cause
Your
he had
first.
Jokic.
No, I was
Omari.
first. I was first. Yeah.
And then I traded
But
for,
yeah,
for
on the
Jokic for
turnaround,
him.
you had the.
So stupid.
I took
man.
Jokic
Guys wins
from
the
him,
league.
too, and
Yeah,
won.
he literally gave him the league to win.
Omari gave him Jokic.
Yeah, because
Yes.
his team sucked because he drafted Jordan Poole. Like, he had to.
No, but a bunch of people also got. It was a bunch of.
Okay, but don't give it to the guy who's already winning.
Why
The guy
I know he had, like, Braun and Jokic.
didn't he
and,
get
like,
vetoed? Why didn't he get vetoed?
No, I had
This is the
Braun
first
because
fair
he traded me
trade.
Braun,
I
gave
drafted
me
a crazy
Braun,
team.
Nurt, and DeJounte Murray or something like that. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
but
team was
he
just
already had
stacked.
Brunson and Tatum, so he was already cooking.
Who let this man draft all this, bro?
I just spazzed.
Yeah,
I
he-
draw
was
two, not to mention he got injured. I would have been
Wow.
even better.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I have
anyway,
people who got like stuff happened like too. But
I think Jordan Poole will be
Either
better
way,
this year.
Oh, brother, don't push.
I mean,
this man.
yeah, but they're probably
He
gonna
should be
trade
better.
away. They're probably gonna try to tank anyway. So they already traded away Tyus Jones, who was like the only good player on the team. So, well, I mean, Kuzma's good, obviously, but he's gonna leave too. So,
Yeah.
you know, I have far less hope.
so who's your
For my
14 seed,
14, I have the Nets here. You know, they traded away my dude, Mikhail, rightfully so, because they stink. But I like Cam Johnson. I've always been a big Cam Johnson fan. I think he's a good player. But, I mean, Ben Simmons, who knows what he's going to do next year?
Nothing.
Cam Thomas is going to be shooting 30 shots a game.
Yeah.
They're probably also just in the tank wars. I don't even know how strong the draft is next year, but
You have
it's
what's his name?
better
They're
than
gonna be
nothing.
there.
From Duke. Dude, that got
Cooper Flag.
Cooper Flag.
Oh wait, didn't
They don't
KG
even
say
have
he's
their
like
own pick though.
generational?
That's the crazy thing. They don't got their own pick. They got the Rockets and Phoenix picks because of the James Harden trade and the KD
yeah.
trades. So they
So
don't
who
even got
has
their own
so
picks.
Rockets have their pick?
The Torch.
Yes, or the Suns. No, Suns definitely don't. Yeah, Rockets definitely do.
Yeah.
It's the Rockets.
Hassan
That'd be
Gabo's gonna be
funny.
a happy man.
Cooper Flag goes there. 100%.
Yeah, when you have a competent organization that has draft picks, not playing. I can go for my 14th, guys. I have the Wizards here. Same reasons you guys gave. I think I see them winning one or two more games than the Nets. There's not really too much thought into this. They're in the tank wars. They're just gonna lose. But yeah, I just have the Wizards at 14.
Yeah, I got the Nets at 14. Pretty much the two bottom teams in the league, like you said, traded McHale, Cam Thomas. Good luck, buddy. It's your team now. See what you can do. They're just gonna probably use the season to figure out who's staying, who's leaving, who they're gonna trade, who are they gonna keep to develop. So I don't expect much from them. Yeah.
This is actually where I have Detroit. I think they're all bad, basically, but I just think
You
I
see
disagree,
no positives
brother.
in this team.
I
I
disagree.
disagree. You see
The
no
Nets
positives.
are way worse than the Nets have way less
what they showed
talent
us
than the
last year was
Pistons.
pretty bad, and
That's
I
not-
understand they have a different coaching staff this year, and obviously Kate Cunningham's the best player out of these three teams. They have the best player, but I feel like development has been an issue for Detroit and culture from organization down. They did they did get rid of Monty, but I don't think he was a bad coach for them. But I don't think coaching is the biggest problem here. I feel like it's the development of players. So I feel like the Nets will do a bit better just because they have more players that have been in the league longer than Detroit has, at least. Dennis Schroeder is not the worst. Cam Thomas has been in the league for a few years. Ben Simmons stays healthy, they can get the 13th seed. So I feel like just because they've had a bit more experience in the league, that they'll get a few more wins.
I don't know. That sounded crazy. I don't know. I see a lot of good things about Detroit.
I just don't-
I think they stink too.
They could
I mean,
stink,
they're
but
not
they're
bad,
better
but
than
they're
the
not
bottom
worse
two.
than the Nets and
Yeah.
the Wizards.
The bottom
like
two are
this.
for sure the bottom two.
Yeah,
That's
I
locked.
agree with that.
Really, I think. Why? Why do you think that?
Bro,
'Cause-
even go player comp. You have Jaden Ivey, a rising big man. You have Cade Cunningham, a star in the making. You know what I'm
Jalen
saying?
Duran,
J-
they
Jalen
signed
Duran,
Tobias
Jaden Ivey.
Harris. They got
bro,
some.
They're not
good
a better
players.
roster last year than better
Oh, there was
talent
stuff.
than the
There was
Nets?
shit happening out of their
No,
control.
not last year.
Really, you think Mikal Bridges tops it like that?
Yeah, I think they
Cade
were.
Cunningham's a better.
They had more role
Not better than
players.
Mikal, but he has more upside.
Yeah, and I also think the coaching was a big issue. And they literally had a coach who didn't want to be there and didn't put him in good positions. I think now with JB Bickerstaff, you got a reliable coach that was able to come into the Cavs situation. And before Donovan even got there, he was actually making some waves. The year before they got Donovan, they were like borderline playoff team. They just didn't end up making it. So I think with them, again, I don't think they're going to be good, but I definitely see some improvement because of the talent they have alone.
Yeah.
I think just with competent coaching, like they signed Malik Beasley, they signed Tobias Harris. Those aren't huge names, but they're NBA players who can be in the rotation at least.
Yeah,
So
that's fair.
again, I just think they're going to be a little better than dead last this year,
Yeah.
even though I don't
I
think
see
they'll
that.
be good.
Yeah, I could see that.
So you hop into your 13th seed then. Just
Yeah, 13
transition
was
into
the
that.
Nets to me. I just
Okay.
think they have a bit more experienced players, so they'll win a few more games. That's my reasoning.
For me, at 13, we talked about them. This is where I have the Raptors personally. I think, they already admitted to it. They know they're not going to win many games this year. They know this is a developmental year. And I think because of that, not only will they lose a lot of games, I think they'll be okay with losing games. I think I see this team they will obviously win some games. They're not going to try to lose, but they're going to be definitely a team that's selling veterans at the deadline. This strikes me as a team that, we're going to develop IQ, RJ, Scotty is our main guys. Obviously, we want Grady Dick to become a shooter on this team and be valuable to us too. And then, they're going to need to rebuild through the draft to really get a star type of player. So I think they're just going to be not so good this year. They're going to try, they're going to develop their guys, but, I just don't see him being as invested in winning in the first place. And I think, that's just going to lead to them being this low.
I think they have enough talent to win a few more games because these guys have been in the league for a bit longer. RJ, IQ, and Scotty Barnes was an All-Star one of these years. So I feel like just because of the talent alone, with Jakob too and Grady Dick, they'll be a bit higher, but
Yeah.
still bad. I mean, this is the
Still
bottom
bad.
of the
I
barrel.
agree.
Yeah, they're not good.
Got to nitpick.
Yeah.
the worst teams at this point.
I could
My-
say my 13th now. I got the Pistons here. I pretty much kind of defended them a little bit when Hassan had them at Hassan. Would you have 14 or 13?
Yeah, I just went lower than you.
Yeah, but I think the bottom two are the bottom two. But the Pistons do look a little promising this year, especially with the coaching situation. And I was going down for player comp. Their team has potential to be good.
Yeah,
like
that's
the
what-
Wizards
that's
and
what I'm
Nets
thinking.
have no potential to be good. like Cap, like at least these guys,
Yeah,
you have a
I
star in the
agree.
making. You have good players. You have like good shooters. You know, like you have people who could win basketball games.
Made the
I'm not
step
saying
in the right
they're
direction.
I'm not saying they're a 40-win team. I'm saying they're a 20 to 25, 20 to 30 win team. You know,
30. I'm looking 30. They could
30,
definitely get
I
30
can see them.
wins.
I can see them topping in at 30. I could see it. So I have them over here.
I see that. Maybe I can switch mine. Honestly, I think you guys convinced me to put them one higher,
Yeah.
especially with the
Honestly-
Tobias and stuff. So
Let's go. Pistons.
Honestly,
we're up.
I was gonna say the same thing. Originally, I was gonna have Pistons 13, but I do think that they do have a bit more talent than the person I am gonna put 13, which is the Raptors. I do think that they have just a more cohesive unit and a little bit better talent. Like I do believe in Scotty Barnes. I think he's really good. RJ's, he has his days. Emmanuel quickly is like rising up, but yeah, the Pistons and they keep trying to add players that show that they do want to win a little bit more games. They don't want to just completely tank. Whether that's good for them or not, we'll see. But I think that they'll have a much more competitive team than the Raptors. And
I
yeah,
agree.
so I have the Raptors 13 because they stink.
Yeah, I agree. And this is a transition to 12. This is where I have the
So
Pistons
my 12
at
is
12.
Pistons too.
Yeah, so I think, like we said, they're just going to have a little more talent. I still believe in Cade Cunningham. He hasn't got to that all-star level, but I also believe that he's not been in a good situation. He's kind of had no help around him, no good coaching. He's just not been developed well. So I think I still like him as a player. I still believe that he could be really, really good in this league. So, I just want to see him, shine a little bit more. Hopefully, if they're just winning a few games, they don't have to be in a play-in team, but they just need to be able to be competitive. Like, they can't be getting blown out on 25-game losing streaks. As long as they don't do that, I think, they'll show some promise, and it's a good step for them.
yeah, this is where I have the Charlotte Hornets at number 12.
Wow.
I feel like, yeah,
Hater.
I like
Actually-
LaMelo. I'm not sold on him like fully playing games this year, but I like the development of Brandon Miller and what he's become, and the flashes that he showed last year. But they basically have the same roster going into last season, and which is why I'm going to rank them the same. I mean, granted, LaMelo Ball didn't play as many games as we wanted him to, and if he does, he could help them win a few more games. But I feel like they'll still be bottom of the barrel. They did get a new coaching staff, and they're going to have to kind of show us or show me that they're better than what they were last year, or they have a new kind of culture there. So until they show me that, I can't really put them higher than number 12 or where they've been the recent years. So depends on LaMelo playing.
But
and
I
being
have a question. LaMelo being a play-in player 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and now they have Bridges coming back, Brandon Miller who's emerging. This doesn't sell you on some things that hey they might make it to play-in again. What do you think on that, Huss?
I feel like coaching with who they have. He's an assistant coach, but a few years ago when they had the coach that got him to the play-in, they were basically developing players really well. What's his name? Your player comp, Gabe?
I don't know his name. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what
Devontae
you're talking
Graham.
Devontae
That guy
Graham,
doesn't
he was
exist. That
actually
guy's a
having
multi-all-star
a solid
MVP.
season, and they're developing him pretty well.
He's not good at basketball.
He's not, but he was on the Hornets for that year. Terry Rozier was solid on that season too. So I feel like Miles Bridges was coming along. They developed players pretty well that year, and the coaching had a lot to do with it. This year, I don't know what the answer looks like or what coaching looks like, so I have no choice but to put him here. In my
I have
opinion.
way more faith in the Hornets than you. Well, we'll get to them.
Yeah, I don't.
I do too. I could say my number 12 over here.
Yeah.
I actually have, for my number 12, I have the Chicago Bulls here. A lot of question marks. I mean, yes, you have some answers. Kobe White's going to be a star player for your team. Zach LaVine said he's, trying to, get, I guess, into basketball more and more locked in, dialed in, whatever you want to say.
Basketball.
If he's gonna,
Into basketball more.
if he's gonna do that or not. But yeah, that team has a lot of question marks for me. Lonzo's a question mark. Getting on the team playing is a question mark in and of itself. So I really don't see them winning a lot of games this year. It's weird because if the Bulls click, I could see them going as high as 9th. If they don't click, I could see them being really bad too. So
12.
I put them
12 is
12.
them not clicking. Yeah.
Yeah, my average.
I'm gonna transition that. I think everyone gave their 12, so that's where I have the Bulls at 11. I agree with a lot of things Gabe said. I think, the defense is gonna be atrocious. I think it's gonna be awful. Your best defender, Lonzo Ball, coming off multiple year layoff. We talked about Vucevic being one of the worst rim protecting bigs in the league. Especially in a league that the big man is just getting to be a more important position. In the Eastern Conference, you guys got like Joel Embiid, Kristaps Porzingis, Karl Anthony Towns now on a daily basis. Especially out west too, Jokic, AD, all these centers. It's going to be tough for Vucevic to guard. I just think they don't have the talent. They really need to also focus on developing their younger guys. They're also still looking to move Zach LaVine. I think this is the year that, for their best interest too, no DeMar DeRozan, who I know he's not the greatest player, but he was a real vet that won them games. He was one of the most clutch players in the league, and like that's going to take away a lot of wins from them.
He was averaging like 27 2 years ago or something like that.
Yeah, so I definitely see them falling off a cliff this year. Not that they were that good to begin with, but now I think they're solidified out of the playoffs.
Falling off a cliff.
I just think like no more playing even for them, but maybe the best case scenario they're a 9-10 seed, but I don't think they're any higher than that.
I'm a bit more positive on them with Lonzo coming back, and then I believe in Kobe White, so I put them a bit higher.
Who's your 11 though?
My 11 is the Raptors here. Even with Jakob Poeltl saying that they're not going to be good, like I said earlier, I think they just have enough talent to get to the 11th seed. They've had players that have been in the NBA for a couple of years now, and Scotty Barnes is actually the real deal. So I think his talent will take them at least to an 11th seed. Even if they're trying to develop players, with the players that they already have developed or in development, they're good enough to be 11. So
I actually have them 11th too. And when I was thinking about this, I'm looking at these bottom, I guess, 5 teams where I'm putting. And
who do you have 11? Raptors?
Yeah, the Toronto Raptors too. I'm looking at Scotty Barnes, and he's the best out of all these 5 players. I'm not saying he's LeBron James of that conference, but I think him and his team are gonna get more wins than anyone else because their lineup isn't horrible. They look like they play winning basketball. Quickly, Barrett, Scotty, Olenek, even Pirtle. I'm not saying they're winning a championship like Pirtle, same as him, but you got Davion Mitchell off the bench, Bruce Brown, Dick. So I mean, I think they're better than the other teams. Below them.
Talent alone should be able to get you to 11th. I feel like.
I think Scotty alone should get you to 11 at this point in his career.
Scotty's better than Cade Cunningham.
Right now, I think so.
I don't think so.
I think so.
I don't think so.
Ceiling is different, but I think Scotty's better than him right now.
I guess you can say now, sure, but I think Cade just has had like such garbage situation around him. It's like not fair to me to like.
This would be the year.
I get the not fair point, but I mean we are like
we've seen Scotty contribute to pretty decent winning basketball too. Like so,
that's
it's
true.
like.
That's why I want to give it. I know it's not fair, but like I mean, it is what we've seen. You know what I mean? And
you got to give experience. But you got to give credit for the experience.
Yeah, I know
experience over potential.
Sucks, I know.
Well, like if you're taking current, like you know what I mean, like
for current.
Yeah. Who's currently better? Then you got to take it over potential.
Facts.
I think that year.
Hot take though. Hot take. I'm a pray on the upcoming season.
If I'm a GM, I'm taking Cade too.
No, for sure. Cade has more upside.
I agree. The ceiling is like way higher.
Yeah. Omari, you're 11.
Oh, but my 11 is the Bulls. I agree with also what Beth said. I mean, I can't say they're gonna fall off a cliff because where were they 10th last season? So it's not like you know going from like 10 to 11 isn't like it's like it's a little bit of a slide, but you know they're just not gonna be very good. I'm happy that Lonzo's coming back. I'm praying that he has a successful season. You know, can get through it. Kobe White. We've already talked about him in his development. He's been great. I hope he can keep that up and that scoring pace up. I hope Zach LaVine is more locked in. I used to be a big fan of his game. I used to be a big fan of his game, and then, you know, he's kind of been not falling off a cliff, but he's kind of been showing a lack of care and injuries. Yeah. But so you know, we'll see. We'll see how they do. I feel like I don't think they're going to be the good.
His perspective has changed a bit in terms of everything that's been happening to him. So I feel like he'll have a good year this year. Come back.
But then, and plus they're just so bad defensively too. Like even if they can get like a decent system of offense clicking, I don't see any hope for them on the defensive end. Like I feel like they'll be like the Kings in terms of like, you know, the Kings were bad last year because they scored a lot and couldn't defend.
Yeah.
Well, not because they scored a lot, but they couldn't defend. So, for my number 10 though, this is why I have the Hornets. I believe in them a little bit more than you, I suppose, Hassan.
Yeah.
I think that I'm praying LaMelo does play this year, but they got Brandon Miller's ascension. They got the domestic abuser, who I wish he wasn't playing, but unfortunately he is. So you got to I got to rate them in terms of his talent. He has talent,
Yeah.
so that is what it is. I like Mark Williams. Nick Richards is a decent upcoming backup too. They have if they were to get a cohesive system and gel together and get a lot of games in together as a unit, we've seen what LaMelo can lead to at least like a play in.
Yeah.
So I think that barring LaMelo's health, obviously that I think they'll make the play in this year.
And I agree fully. And I have the exact same placement as Omari. I have him at number 10, the Charlotte Hornets. Speaking a little bit on LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges. Speaking from talent alone, this three is a very good, competent, not a big three. They're like a mid three. You know what I'm saying? They're like a mid three.
Mid three.
So judging off that, I mean, they have some good players too. Like Omari mentioned, Mark Williams. They have also Grant Williams. Well, take it or not, still a great 3-and-D player.
Oh, yeah.
Mean, he is a meme,
Not
but
great.
That's okay. Good. Decent. You got Seth Curry off the bench. You have Josh Green on that team now. So I mean,
I forgot.
It is looking good. It is looking good. I do like.
And
I am very big on LaMelo. I do think, from what I said before, when Hassan was saying that when they were in the play-in years before, I do think with this talent today, they can get back there in this NBA for sure. Because the other teams, I think, have less talent than them. Like everyone I mentioned is significantly worse than LaMelo, Brandon Miller, and Miles Bridges. I can guarantee you that.
LaMelo just been hurt 2 years in a row with ankle injuries. Past history is not looking great to me to think he'll play a full 70 or have an Anthony Davis type season.
That is a big question mark.
Health is a question. If he gives you 60, I think they'll make it.
All right, number 10. This is where I have the Atlanta Hawks. I think that they do have some talent on their team. Jalen Johnson, I'm looking for him to take another step this year because he came out of nowhere kind of last year, solidified himself as one of the young stars of that team. I'm looking for him to build on his game, have a full season. Trae Young as well, we know what he can do, but I think around them too, it's just teams kind of lacking talent. You did take Zachary Richardson, first overall pick, but one of the more underwhelming first overall picks. Obviously we got to see what he does, but he's not some kind of generational talent. He's not some kind of special player. So, we got to kind of see how they develop their guys. I think, this team just is still missing a lot. Clint Capella, Okongwu, Dyson Daniels. These are all guys that kind of still need to prove some things or kind of have deficiencies. I feel like, especially on a Trae Young-led team, you kind of need a lot of good pieces around him. And I think this team's just lacking it right now. So they do have a good coach, so I'm going to give him the respect of, putting him, I guess, 10 seed because I feel like this roster isn't, besides Trae Young and Jalen Johnson, really lacks talent. So I think they'll win some games because of the coaching and the star players that they do have. But overall, I don't see them having that successful of a year this year.
Yeah, I also have the Hawks at 10 for many of the reasons that Beth said. They also lost DeJounte Murray and replaced him with Ricochet, which is obviously he's not going to be what DeJounte Murray was last year. So they basically have the same roster with adding the first pick. And depending on how they start the season, with drafting Ricochet at 1 and being a younger team with their not star players, but players that could be developed into being essentially kind of star players, they could blow it up. And we've heard a lot of Trae Young rumors too. So if they have a little slow start, you never know. They could be 10th or even worse. So, and
they could trade him mid-season too. Like if things go really bad, and that even after that's going to be even worse.
Yeah, and if he gets injured or goes down, they literally have no shot of doing anything. Trae Young. So
yeah,
you never know with that roster. And they've had the same team for years now, like with Clint Capella and Onyeka Okongwu, and they've pretty much been hovering around the same area. So there's nothing for me to believe in that they'll be higher than 10th or a playing team this year. So I have them at 10 also.
Actually, are we on Omar? You gave your 10, right? You said
yeah, the Horny Mans.
We can go on to the 9th seed. This is where I have the Atlanta Hawks. My take on the team is, they moved out of DeJounte Murray now. But what I think is going to happen is I think Trae Young is going to go back to balling, having like a primary ball handler instead of kind of coexisting in a way. I was looking at some people say the same thing too, so I kind of gravitated toward that, like, I guess, ideology where, now you only have Trae Young, who's being the primary ball handler, so he doesn't have to. I guess you don't have to put him off ball as much anymore, if that makes sense. When
else touches, there's nobody else.
So he's going to be the main usage guy again, which I think for him works because if he's not touching the ball, he's useless. So in this way, if he's touching the ball, he's going to do shit with it: assist, play, make, pass. So I think it's going to go. They moved with whatever they could. They moved backward, getting rid of DeJounte, if that makes sense. But I mean, getting Ricochet, we spoke about him a little bit.
Addition by subtraction.
Yeah, that's a perfect terminology. Also getting Ricochet is probably I know, underwhelming, but I mean, hey, the draft is what it is. The draft sucked ass this year. I'm not gonna lie. But I think going back to this Trae Young led Hawks, they're gonna be 9th seed. I think they're pretty comfortable in the 9-10 area.
You never know. Ricochet could surprise us and be.
That's
I hope he does, bro. I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong.
Yeah, and if he does, then this team could be still 9th.
They still got Bogey too.
Yeah, they got Bogdanovich, Dyson Daniels, DeAndre Hunter, Larry Nance.
Bogey's gonna get the power up. They say he comes
Hunter's always
playing better
hurt too. So if he has a healthy year,
David
some possibility that this team could still be 9th seed. So.
Yeah.
I think max 8th is they'll get.
That's all firing on all cylinders. The 8th.
I guess.
At number. Oh, you go ahead, Omari. You give your number 9.
I was gonna say because I have the same as Gabe. I agree in the sense of I love I'm a huge DeJounte Murray fan, but I think it's more so of fit. You know what I mean? Fit more than player, which is what makes it the addition by subtraction. I do think that Trae Young has had his best years, even wins wise, when they're playing heliocentric Trae Young ball. So I feel like with their lack of talent, they kind of have to do that right now. So if they win at least 1 games, and he's good enough to facilitate an offense like that, so I think that they'll be 9th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is where I actually have the Chicago Bulls. I think they have enough talent to be 9th. I think Lonzo coming back really does help them because when he was healthy they were a higher seed. I think they were the 4th seed before he got hurt.
So you're really putting stock in this guy with one knee.
Yeah, Caruso back
there. He's a cyborg.
Slowly get him back into playing shape. I think Josh Giddey's playmaking ability could suffice for them for now because I do believe in Kobe White and what talent that he showed us. He's not going to be no DeMar DeRozan, but he can give you 17 to 20, depending on his development this year, maybe even higher. I believe in Zach LaVine being fully healthy and at least giving you 24. And Vucevic is always a 17-10 type of guy. So, like you guys said, there's no defense there, but there is talent from an offensive standpoint. And Billy Donovan's not the worst coach, so they'll get going and figure out ways to buy in. Io is still a good defender. We'll see what he does, but I think he's kind of capped. We already know what type of player he is, but you never know. He can develop into being something more and being their Alex Caruso of last year from a defensive standpoint. So.
I like the Io shout out. He actually is really good. I just worry about his minutes with the guard heavy team, but he definitely shouldn't get lost in the shuffle. He's really good. Yeah,
especially if he's contributing from a defensive standpoint, he should get more minutes this year. Yeah. So I think talent alone should get them to the 19 because they've been here every single year since the DeMar era. Granted, he's gone, but players have stepped up since Zach LaVine's absence, and he's coming back, take the reins. So, and
this team sucks. I'm looking at the depth chart. Jesus Christ. You got Dalen. Who's Dalen Terry?
Outside of
who's Dalen Terry? Matas Buzelis? Corey Craig.
No. Shout out to Buzelis.
Hey, shout out Chris Duarte. I got Ricky. I got Ricky an autographed rookie card for him. Shout him out.
No, he's cooked. Yeah. He's cooked.
Shout out
Julian Phillips, Javon Carter. I know.
He's already 30 years old, bro. You know that? Duarte's 30 already.
Bro, and Moses Moody is 21, and they're in the same
gap. They got THT on a non-guaranteed deal, bro. Lock in.
Who? Man. Oh, yeah, he's going home. Back to Chicago. Shout out to THT. Anyway.
They're top heavy, though, Gabe. So, talent-wise, top heavy.
Top heavy being a below mid-3 is crazy, right?
The playing team.
All right. Yeah, the East.
This is where the Lakers were last year, right? 19.
Hey. Enough out of you, brother. Enough out of you, brother.
In the West.
We're a 45-plus win team. Remember that.
All I see is 9.
And all I see is, where are the Warriors? Okay, continue.
What was the playoff?
Wait for the Western Conference prediction, Hassan. You wait on that.
Yeah, let's save the trash talk for that.
Who do you have a 9 bet, Bez, or did you say it already?
No. This is where I got the Hornets. I got the Charlotte Hornets at number 9. I think that they're gonna take a leap this year. I think you guys mentioned the talent is there. I think the real question is, can they all buy into the coaching, especially on the defensive side of the ball? And what I've seen so far from the new coach, the new Charlotte coach, Charles Lee, that's his like main emphasis that he's emphasized. Like, we got to buy in defensively because, again, we know offensively they got Miles Bridges, Brandon Miller, LaMelo Ball, Mark Williams. You know, all these players. All this talent off the bench as well. So they can do it offensively. They got good offensive highlights. You know, they run the fast break really well. They're really good at that. I just think if they lock in defensively and if LaMelo can stay healthy, I think this team can be a play-in team again. You know, I'm not going to put them any higher, even though I do think they have a lot of potential, you know, with good coaching if they all can all buy in. But I am high on this team's talent. I do think they'll be better. I think they'll be healthier. I think they're kind of just tired of, you know, not really winning, and they'll be willing to do more. I don't know. I put them 9th because I just don't think it'll last the whole year, and the teams above them are better. But I do think they're going to be better than the teams below them. Like we said, the Hawks. I think the Hornets are better. I think the Hornets have more talent than the Bulls, than the Pistons, than the Raptors. So I'm betting on the talent this year and the improved coaching to really kind of show them more improvement than we expect.
Yeah, I agree with that statement, but I feel like this is their ceiling. 9 is like the highest they could be, from my opinion, because of the culture that they've set throughout the years. Coaching really has to play a huge part in terms of their success and development, because the way that they've been portraying themselves with like the chains and as like Omari said, abuse, and LaMelo just not playing, and how he even carries himself too sometimes feels like he doesn't really care about the game of basketball. So the coach has to really implement like not a military mindset, but being really strict, pressure to get them to where they need to be. Because like you said, they do have the talent, they have the ability to be 9th or even greater with the potential that they have. Like Brandon Miller's second coming of Paul George and averaging over 20, and he really has potential to be an all-star, even the best player on their team. LaMelo, like I said, I think he should be a superstar in the NBA, but there's a lot that pushes them away from being that. So I feel like 9 would be their ceiling if everything goes right this year, but I don't think it will.
I feel like, I just feel like 9, you know, I mean, the teams above them are better. You know, besides injuries, we just can't predict those, you know. Yeah. But I do think that with a young head coach, it's going to be different. You know, in the past, they've always employed like the older head coaches because they thought it would be able to let them buy in. But I feel like there's also a drawback to that because the young players just don't relate to the older head coaches like that. You know, you just can't. You know, it's like It's like you know what I mean. It's like you trust
20, 30 years older than him,
right?
You know?
It's like you trust that he's smart, but he doesn't like understand what the young kids are thinking, how they function, how they move, like in their everyday lives as well. And I feel like that's important when it comes to buying in. You know what I mean? Like if the coach knows how and tell LaMelo, you got to get this extra practice today. Like you can't get on fucking Roblox tonight in the game. You know,
Call of Duty,
Roblox.
Right, so
imagine
I don't know what
he'd
he'd be playing, but
life is Roblox.
you know what I'm saying? Like the coach understands that this is what like the younger generation does and how they function. I feel like that's going to be important in terms of letting them buy in. So maybe I'm just hopeful, but I just feel like might be the year that we start to kind of see them fulfill some of their potential.
Yeah, good points.
I like it.
All right. Now we get to I feel like the real teams, AC.
Actual play.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'll start us off here. I know Gabe is gonna like this one. This is where I have the Miami Heat
Woo!
at number 8.
Yes, sir. That's exactly what I go to. Best cook.
Got it too. What
All
you
right,
got?
we can wrap it up. We can have it a day.
How about we start with what Hassan got? If we all got.
Oh yeah, no, I got Indiana at 8 actually.
Whoa!
Get out. No, you have to get out.
This is crazy.
You have to get out. Hassan, put your hat
up.
up.
That's crazy.
Hassan, give me your hat.
Indiana.
I'm telling
Give
you
me your
right
hat.
now.
All right, I need an explanation for this one.
Yeah.
Where's Ricky when you need him?
They do have
Ricky
the
right
talent. They do have the talent with Tyrese Haliburton and Pascal Siakam. They had the best bench in the NBA last year. They lost Mathurin, so I'll give them that. I think they'll be. They obviously have the talent to get things done, but I think the teams above them are just more locked in. I feel like Indiana gave us a surprise last year. We didn't see this coming from Indiana to be a Western Conference Finals team, be a top seed. So I feel like,
but we knew they were going to be good, though.
The seed was good.
We knew they were going to be good.
Western Conference.
Yeah, but I think Miami's going to be even better than them. Sadly, going into this year. But keep them losers down there. I think we know what the emotes. Man, making me lose my train of thought. I think we know what Indiana
trash ass
is
tape.
now. I don't think they're going to be better than what they were last year. I feel like teams are going to prepare for them in a better fashion, and they just won't be as good as they were. Because I feel like it was a surprise seeing Tyrese Halliburton start the season off what they did, the All NBA making it to the finals in the in-season tournament, and then they started to slow down after the Pascal trade. Mickey Mouse run, exactly. I don't think I think teams will be more prepared at the higher level. I don't think they'll
That is some
adapt
cap.
correctly. I don't think they'll adapt. Honestly, I think they'll figure them out.
Bro,
You know,
And they
the
won't be the
thing,
best.
Hudson, bro.
Didn't they add somebody?
Who?
No,
Did they get another player in the offseason?
They just pay TJ McConnell more money.
Hudson, the thing is, like, I agree with you to an extent. I do think that, you know, they're so bad defensively that I think it's going to catch up to them in a sense,
Yeah.
and where, like, they won't be as good this year. I don't see them making another Eastern Conference run, but, like, A seed is just wild, bro. Like, that's just too far down for
I think
me.
7 teams are better than them, honestly.
I can't see it.
Potential.
How are the Heat gonna do better than them, bro?
So let's talk
Let me
about the
explain
Heat.
that.
Let's talk about the Heat, because the Heat, first of all, they have not improved a single thing in the off. They literally have not made one move. I don't think. I don't know who they lost.
Yeah.
Caleb Martin, who's like literally one of their best players in the playoffs. You know, they just keep losing players every year, and I know the Heat pull players out of their ass all the time and stuff like that. And obviously, they're still going to be a playoff team to me, but I think with the way Jimmy Butler's looking, like, you know, yeah, he showed up to media day without a dumb haircut, but like
He's locked in.
I don't see that as him being locked in. I think there's still issues with this team. The offense has really struggled. Jimmy Butler's only getting older. You know, unless Bam and Tyler Hero are taking these massive jumps, the offense is going to be an issue. The reason I can't put them lower than this is because they just have an elite coach and elite players. Mm-hmm. But otherwise, like, around the edges, it's kind of rough. Like, the role players just aren't there like they used to be. You know, Bam, Jimmy, Tyler Hero. You know, and then, again, you got, like, Jovic. You got Jaime Jaquez, who are, like, okay, but when you compare them to the other teams' role players, the teams above them, the Pacers got better role players. The Magic got better role players. The Cavs, all these teams we're going to talk about, to me, have better role players. And I think unless the coaching is really that strong, which I don't think it is, because the talent around the team isn't there. So it's like the coaching is really good when there's talent there and it can elevate them. But I just don't see that the Heat have that this year. So I think they're going to be 8 because of that. I think regular season, especially, Jimmy Butler does not care. We all know this. So it's like even more of a reason for me to think that they're not going to do as well in the regular season.
Yeah, that's a good hot take, Hassan. It's a good hot take.
Yeah, I have the Heat at 7 because, like you said, Jimmy Butler, he doesn't really care about the regular season and the media day stuff, which is funny. But I feel like it's a contract year. You know how people act when it's contract years.
You've said this before. This is one of your favorite arguments.
Because it happens. Am I wrong in this argument, though?
It is true. I don't think they'll contribute like too much, but I think it's true. I think Jimmy individually will have a better season.
Serious.
I think he'll just show up more.
He'll show up. He'll play more games this year for sure. And that always, him playing will always affect them winning. Tyler Hero, very bad injury history. I think this year he'll stay healthy. I think last year the way that they ended, losing to the Celtics. They lost the Celtics in the first round, if I can remember correctly. Got swept, and Jimmy Butler was saying that he was running his mouth off. If he was healthy, he'd play. And then Pat Riley talking about like, Jimmy shouldn't be saying anything if he's not playing. I think the influence of Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra this year, and them taking control of the helm and like really showing why they are who they are, and setting that Heat culture with Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo playing this year. The culture will be better, and Jimmy Butler having being in a contract year, he's going to play better this year. So I think that those 3 factors in coaching will get them into at least the 7th seed and have a better season overall. And like you said, Miami always finds gems. I think Jaime Jaquez is going to blossom into a better player this year. Jovic, he showed flashes at the end of the season going into last year, and I think he'll be better. So I think coaching and putting him in the right position, then mentality with also the culture that they have there, it's going to be better than what Indiana can provide. And the defense is a huge problem for me from the Indiana standpoint. So I think they'll be figured out, and they can't defend anything. So I have Heat at 7.
All right. What do you guys have at 7?
7. Hold on. Omar, you go first.
This is why I got the Magic.
Boo.
I have the Magic at 7 as well. I have the Magic at
Listen,
7.
but okay, like I like the Magic. I like that they have a lot of young talent, but they didn't really address all the concerns that they had in the offseason. Uh,
No, I'm
I
not
think
gonna say
that
all
we'll
that.
see. I think we'll see some. Did they get a new shooter?
Yeah, KCP.
Yeah.
Really good
KCP is
pickup.
good. I like KCP.
He is good.
Very
So
good.
so hopefully that does address their concerns. But yeah, I feel like they're still uh capped in terms of like development and experience. I do think that the other teams ahead of them were better, especially in the regular season. The Magic had started out really good last season, if I'm not mistaken, but it like evened out, the what mean regression or whatever.
Mm.
But yeah, so I think that they still have a lot to develop. They could take jumps this year and be higher, but I don't see it this year. But we'll see.
Yeah, I got the Magic at 7. Although I could see him being higher. I think it just depends on the jumps that these players take. The real issue for them is offense. I think the defense is going to be surefire. You can rely on a nightly basis. They got one of the best defenses in the league all around. They got good defenders. I think the offense is where they really struggle. Can one of these guards really take a step forward is what I'm looking for, because especially in the modern NBA, like, you need a good guard, at least somebody to handle the ball,
Yeah.
make high IQ plays, get people the ball. Paolo's kind of does a little bit of that, but he's not really a playmaker. He's not really a ball handler like that. So I'm looking for like Cole Anthony, Jalen Suggs, like maybe even Anthony Black. Can one of these guys take a step forward? Because I think that's the missing piece for them. Point guard, KCP solved some of the shooting problems, so I think that could help them in that department. But offensively, it's still kind of just like Paolo just does his thing, Franz does his thing. They kind of still have a ways to go offensively, and I think that's kind of just going to limit where they're at. But I do think if they do solve that and this team does take leaps in that department, they could be higher than this. But because of the questions I have right now, I'm putting them at 7.
Believer. Tyrese Halliburton's the best point guard in the East. He should have said what I had. Should have been here for what I have to say.
All right, Hassan.
Oh, he came through. He came through.
Let me say my number 7.
Yeah.
Who's your number 7?
My number 7 is where I have the Cleveland Cavaliers. I have the Cavs at number 7. When I was doing this, I thought 7 through 5 were really close, in my opinion. So wherever they rank is going to be a few games off. I have the Cavaliers here specifically because there's nothing else to say about Donovan Mitchell, superstar player. Nothing wrong about him. He's amazing. Other than the fact that, I don't really see anything improvement as far as their whole team, like their team comp. So they still have Strus, they still have Garland, they still have Mobley, Allen, Levert, Okoro. So if these people, Niang, if these people aren't, taking leaps, I think they're going to just, stay in the middle of the pack again. You know what I mean? This year. So I really don't see them cracking. Best case scenario, a 5th, but worst case, 8-7, in my opinion.
They were 4 last year with the same exact team. So
Yeah,
I feel like teams got better, overall. Like overall teams got better. And I think they're going to have better seasons than the Cavs last year. So if the Cavs don't do better than the Cavs last year, which I don't think they will.
I feel like Bickerstaff had a huge role into why they were higher. And then also, they've had the same roster for years now. I feel like you have to adapt at some point in the NBA. You can't have the same roster for 3 years and do the same thing and not expect a same or less result, in my opinion, especially with 2 smaller guards.
Yeah, and this 2 small guard thing that we've been talking about for the past 3 years, I still would like to see something else. Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell, I think, well, they are great individual players. I don't think they should be playing together, in my opinion.
A lot of trade rumors starting to brew against the team chemistry. So if they start off bad, it won't be better.
Yeah, I guess that can transition. Omar, did you give your number 7? You had the Heat, or
yeah.
who did you have?
I had the Magic.
Oh, Magic. Yeah, you did. So this is at number 6. Let me put this up. This is where I have the Cavs at number 6. I think you guys brought up some good points, but I still think this team is really talented. They have a lot of talent on the team with Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, all all-star caliber type of players. I think they just kind of need to find a way to make it work and fit together. Kenny Atkinson, I do have faith in him as a coach as well. I think he's had some teams that flown under the radar. When he coached the Nets, they kind of overachieved when he was with them. So I do believe in his ability to raise the talent on the team. But again, like you said, Hassan, the fit is a little weird with some of these players. They haven't really made many changes to the roster, besides like some small around the edges. So I think there's a cap on this team at the same time. That's why I have them at number 6. But I do think that the talent will win them games. They'll be a locked-in playoff team. You know, they could be probably as high as 4 in my opinion if they really put it all together, maybe even higher. You know, who knows? Because Donovan Mitchell is one of the better players in the league, and you know the potential Evan Mobley has. We've seen Darius Garland could do so. It just for them, will it work? I'm not sure, but I think that even if it doesn't go perfect, they have enough talent to be a playoff team.
Yeah, I agree with you. This is where I have the Cavs at 6 for basically everything that you've said. I don't have to double down on that.
Perfect.
Omari.
All right, Gabe or Omari, number 6. Number 6.
I was muted.
All right, my number's okay. My number 6. I'm gonna entertain this dude spam in the chat. Is where I have the Pacers.
Let's go. Come on, talk your shit.
Yeah, I mean it's not even talking shit. Like they're a good team. The East is like a little more stacked when it gets to the top, towards the top. So, it's a little top heavy. So it's kind of hard to crack the top 5, top 4. I think that they've been really productive offensively. They defensively have a bunch of questions. I feel like they try to tire people out just by picking up the pace on them, and that's their form of defense. Just having them winded.
Picking up the pace. I see what you did there.
Yeah. But no pun intended. But yeah, I think they have a lot of talent. I think that Tyrese will probably take another bit of a jump this year. But yeah, so I would think they'll be competitive. It's just gonna get competitive when you get towards the top. Like, I mean, the top 7 is pretty competitive now, but
yeah,
there's a good wall to get to the top 5 or top 4.
Facts.
Yeah,
So,
their bench last year definitely kind of carried them to where they were. Obviously, Tyrese Halliburton, they had a really good start, but their deficiencies defensively was carried through their bench, and I honestly don't think they'll have the best bench in the league going into next season.
I disagree. I feel like
they'll still be the best.
I think. Well, I have them. Spoiler: I have them as my 5 seed, but I have them where I have them because of their bench. I feel like in the NBA, it's very important to have depth because, especially during the regular season, in the playoffs, not so much. Which is why I probably don't think they'll, have that Eastern Conference Finals run because, like, they lack a lot of important things in the playoffs where the rotations shrink. But during the regular season, like, they go 10, 11 deep. So on a nightly basis, it don't matter. Besides really Hallie, if anyone of these other guys is out, Miles Turner, they got Isaiah Jackson, they got what's the dude's name? Jalen Smith. You know what I mean? They signed James Wiseman too. So even though he's not.
Stop this.
Hey man, I know you're a hater, but hey man. The Pacers have been shown a rehab player, so
yeah, McConnell, Shepard, Mather, and Toppin. Facts. Talk it, Bez.
I know you hating, but James Wiseman, like he can rebound at least, and the Pacers have been a good developmental program. Maybe they can help turn his career around. Who knows? They got Siakam, Nembhard, Aaron Nesmith. Like I could keep going. Their team is just incredibly deep, which is why I feel they'll be fine in the regular season. Obviously there's questions about the defense, but on any given night, like TJ McConnell could beat you. You know what I mean? Like he's a good enough player where you play a bad team like the Raptors, you don't even need Halliburton. TJ McConnell could do enough for you. So Aaron Nesmith could do enough for you too. So
like
the depth of this team is good enough to win games in the regular season.
Neymar could give you random 25, 27 night, bro. Come on, man. Neymar can just drop
it. I feel like we just didn't expect the bench to be as good, or like when is the last time we heard TJ McConnell being this good? Last year compared to
he's a good player. He's not even
he's a good player.
He had a career year last year. I think he's gonna have another career year.
Bro, it's not even about career year. He's a good player.
Solid, though. Yeah,
he got put on this year. Hassan, he's been playing like this. He just went to the playoffs deep, so now you're seeing it. But he's a great player. Trust me, I promise.
He's been good since he's on the Sixers.
I think he's good too.
Only watch playoff ball.
Let him know he don't watch ball.
Bro, he averaged 10 points on 18 minutes, bro. He's been doing that for like the last 7 years. Like
he's been a dog, bro. He's been a little pit bull.
Yeah, I feel like
they 40% from 3, 44% from 3.
Their bench, and I don't think it's going to happen going into this season.
They didn't lose anybody. If anything, they gained players. So they got some of these rookies too, like that we don't even know how they contribute. Ben Shepherd out of nowhere last year came and gave him like not great, but he played in the playoffs and he gave him playoff minutes. So like they have a lot of guys they can play. I know you probably not tapped into some of these lower tier rotation guys, but they actually come in and provide like quality shooting, quality defense, like at least some type of role for them. That's why I'm very confident in the Pacers, at least during the regular season. Yes, we have questions about their defense, about their offensive ceiling in the playoffs and such, but in the regular season, they literally, it doesn't matter injuries, the coaching's good enough to put them in the right positions. They will win regular season games, I can promise you that.
I feel like you guys have too much faith in their bench. This doesn't it's not a season in, season out type of thing. What they have had the same players, not the same players, but technically the same core
They
players.
just broke through. They literally just broke through last year. What
Do you think
They're a young team.
What
They
is
have a
the
young
cost to
team.
Listen, what is your cost to say they're going to be worse than like really worse than last year? Like they're going to be like
they surprised us with their bench last season, and I feel like people are going to be.
I'm not surprised by their bench though. If you're surprised, that's one thing. But like they've had depth. All these guys, like they're only getting better. They don't have no type of old.
You knew that they're going to be the best bench in the NBA last year.
I thought they would have a really good bench because they had a lot of pieces. Yes. No, but they have a good
top
bench.
5, top 3.
They don't even need a number 1 bench. If they're top 5 bench again this year, which is very realistic, they can do similar things. Yes, maybe the record's not exactly the same, but they're gonna win regular season games.
I agree.
I think that people will adapt to their bench coming into the season. So
we could talk about the Pacers more later. I can go to my number 6 right now, guys, because I haven't said it yet. I haven't said my 6 yet. I have the Orlando Magic here at number 6. Orlando Magic. No, I think I said it before. I think the 5 through 7 team are very close. They could probably just edge each other out. I have the Magic here because I think I have the Magic here because I think I know the Magic and the Cavs obviously played in the playoffs, but I'm not taking that into account in any way. I still think the Magic are going to be a better regular season team than the Cavs, just off their team construction and makeup. They also got KCP, which Bez said, which we talked about, that does help a lot of their shooting problems. Franz Wagner does need to take a little bit of a jump in his, I guess, playmaking, passing, shooting ability too, at least some way, for them to actually see some real growth. But other than that, I think the team is still solid. Paolo Banchero, very solid. Franz Wagner, very solid. I like the team overall, so I have them at 6.
Everyone give their 6.
Yeah.
I can start with my 5 since Gabe talked about.
Yeah, let's go to your number 5.
I have the Orlando Magic at number 5. I think this is the year they take a leap. I believe in Paolo Banchero. I think he'll be an All-NBA player, make the 3rd team this year. He'll be an All-Star. I think he'll take that next step and be damn near a superstar. He's going to be an All-Star level for sure, one below superstar in my opinion. And I think that'll be enough to carry them to the 5th seed. They added shooting which was a huge discrepancy last year with KCP. I feel like Franz is he gets better every year. He's going to take another jump. They were really good defensively last year, had a all defensive player in Jalen Suggs from a guard perspective, and I think that team will continue to grow. Anthony Black going into his 2nd season as well. So I feel like they'll really good coaching too. So I feel like they'll be.
Is Jonathan Isaac going to be healthy the whole year? Do we know?
Probably not, but he'll give you what you need. So,
dude, I want that.
If he plays 10 minutes a game, he's like literally a top 10 defender. Like,
dude, I want that guy to be healthy, bro.
He was healthy to end the year, so
he's a beast, bro. He's actually
he actually would tilt the needle a little bit more for me. Like, I swear to God, Jonathan Isaac, I promise you.
Yeah. With Paul, essentially Paul Banchero, I think he'll take this team to the 5th seed, at least. So,
since we talked about them,
with some trash takes.
Since we talked about them at number 5, this is where I have the Indiana Pacers. I think they have the depth to win regular season games. I know Hassan doesn't believe that for whatever reason, but I think they got enough depth to win the regular season. Obviously, in the playoffs, we got question marks, and I'll agree with you on that part. And then making a playoff run, but in a regular season, I don't really have concerns. Even with injuries, I think they'll be good enough to win games. Be hovering anywhere from the 5 to the 7 seed, I think, is realistic for them. So. Yeah,
bro, wasn't Hallie injured last year too when they had a great record? Am I tripping?
He was out. He missed games too. Yeah,
he missed like 20 games, right? Or am I tripping? I gotta look this up.
I don't think that many.
I could check.
He
came back early too. I remember he came back early. We were like, oh, he's not the same after his injury. Do you guys remember?
Yes, yes, he did.
He had a really good start
a lot of games.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
He played 69 games, so it was not 20 games missed, but 13 games missed. Some without your best player. So
they had Siakam at the time though.
I can
He's
go to my
gonna help
number
him
5.
too. He can handle when Tyrese is not there. He can handle being the number 1 guy for the night. So
facts.
Along with the other pieces they have. This is not even mentioning some of the younger guys that we just haven't seen, like Jarace Walker. I really liked him coming out of the draft last year, and he just didn't play for them. And I feel like if he gets some minutes
Carlo
this year,
like them, you guys.
Yeah, but if he gets some minutes this year and actually develops, that's another athletic wing they can use. So they got players, in my opinion.
See, I also think Rick Carlo is not going to be the greatest of coaches either. I feel like he's getting phased out, but I mean, last year he showcased he could. So this is my prediction. So we'll see.
I also have the Pacers at number 5, by the way, Bez. So picking up right where he left off. Everything Bez said is factual. Everything Hassan said is incorrect. He does not watch ball. No, I'm kidding. No, man. I believe Halliburton is still a system player on any given night. Yes, we talked about this. Nemhard, TJ McConnell, Ben Matt, these type of guys can win you ball games, even if Halliburton's not in the game, because they're just that deep. Coupled with Pascal Siakam, Miles Turner, they look pretty good in the regular season. So I feel confident giving them the number 5 spot.
Watch, mark my words, they'll be 8th this year.
Your words have been
They will
marked and
not
they've been
be
thrown in
eighth,
the
bro.
trash.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
All right, who do you have
This is
5
Hassan's
more?
words. Boom.
My number 5.
Their
I
entire
have the
team's finna
Cavs.
get hurt. Be like, I told you guys.
Yeah. I got the Cavs here. I think that in terms of like talent on the team, I think that Donovan Mitchell is still the best player on the Cavs or Pacers. You know what I mean? And I think that he brings enough offense to where it's like another level. Like to be a top tier team, you kind of have to have that level of the dude. And I don't think Siakam is necessarily on the same level as Donovan or Tyrese. But yeah, I think that Mobley is still a good player. He still has more room to grow, but he's been great in what he's been able to do. Hopefully, the lights aren't continue to be too bright for Jared Allen.
Never gonna die for that guy.
Garland's great. You know what I mean? I really like his game. I know that their backcourt is a defensive liability, and their system. This guy here, QD. I know that the way they work together isn't always the greatest, but they've been relatively productive even with this system. I think that Max Strus was a great addition last year. I think he played super hard, and he had that 1 million foot game winner.
That was crazy.
So, yeah. So I think that they're going to have a pretty good team. I hope that Mobley gets better because having those two Twin Towers should be good for your defense and should make up for a little bit of your defensive perimeter woes.
I always feel like he's kind of capped Mobley in the role that he plays for that team. And I think it'll continue to be capped with Mitchell and Garland having the roles that they do on that offense. So
I like what Hassan said about them just not having the fit and then them just like not making changes over the last couple of years. You got, I have a stagnant roster besides like a few players here and there. The team kind of just right now is in like a stalemate situation where they're good enough to make the playoffs consistently, but not good enough to really do anything in the playoffs. And the development hasn't been there for some of the younger guys. So it's like, it's kind of wait and see for them. They'll make the playoffs this year for sure, but it's like, what's their ceiling? We really don't know until some.
They've always just been a solid team with this exact same team. So it's just like I have no reason to think they'll be like much worse, but I'm sure they're not going to get over the hump with this team. You know what I mean? They're not going to get crack the top 4 with this team, but I don't see them being much worse than they have been in recent years. So
yeah. All right, top 4.
It's interesting.
You should do a new intro
for the top 4.
Should we? The
I think the top 4 are next breed of like group.
Sure, go ahead. You can make the intro if you want.
Group.
Wow, we need an intro for it. Okay.
Who wants to go first?
You give the intro. Give the intro if you want.
Oh yeah.
I'll go first. But you can give the intro.
All right. We are going to be naming the top 4 teams in the Eastern Conference going into the next season. Omari, who do you have at number 4?
This is where I got the Philadelphia 76ers. I got them 4th. Embiid's health is always up in the air. You never know how many games he's going to play. Paul George is not as bad as Joel Embiid, but very similar. I love him. He's one of my favorite players. But I think that they have the potential to be a top 3 team. But just seeing as how their injury history generally is with those 2 players, I think Tyrese Maxey is great too. But and they're a little top heavy as a team. They're not like the deepest, I would say, especially when it comes to the who.
I think Caleb's starting. Kyle Lowry, Caleb Martin.
They got Kelly Oubre too. Kyle Lowry off the bench. Eric Gordon off the bench.
Actually. Yeah,
Jarek McCain is actually going to be really good for them. KJ Martin is actually good too. Like they look. Reggie Jackson third.
Nah, it's because those are.
No, they're deep. They're deep.
It's relative to see how well they play, but I think that the other teams above them, not necessarily that they're deeper, but I think definitely that the talent gap is higher in the top teams, and I think that the injury history is gonna cost them some regular season games. What they do in the playoffs is yet to be seen. It might be even a bigger question. I know bro said Kyle Lowry in 2024. But
Hey man, he's a bench player. We're talking about Kyle Lowry
yeah,
as a bench
so
Yeah,
we'll
he's a
player.
see.
bench.
I think that their health will just cost them games that they would need to pass the top three, at least in the regular season standings.
I disagree with you. I can get
Me
my
too.
4. This is where I have the Milwaukee Bucks. I think
Me
they'll
too,
be number
brother.
4 this year, especially with Chris Middleton not being in the roster to start off the season.
He's
Have,
always hurt, bro. He might be cooked. We
Man,
might have to have that
always getting
combo soon.
surgeries each and every year. Another year of Brook Lopez
Still
being a
looks
bit
ugly, bro. You can't
older.
get no face surgery. No, I'm kidding. Fuck no.
Yeah, another year of Brook Lopez being older. You have Doc Rivers at the helm. You know about Doc Rivers at this point. He can only get you so
God,
far.
I hate that, man.
Just making on the talent of Giannis and Damian Lillard, I do think they'll be better coming into another year of experience with each other, and that'll get them to the 4th seed. I think Giannis, he's dominant each and every year. I think Damian Lillard has something to prove with this roster, and he has to show us that he can do something without being attached to Portland Trailblazers. I felt like he was doing better at the end of the year, and I think that'll continue to start the season, and I think him and Giannis will be enough to get them to the 4th seed.
Yeah, I
agree.
agree with you here. This is where I have in number 4 the Milwaukee Bucks. I think they'll be a fine team. They're gonna get in the playoffs. I think what really matters for them is what they do when they hit the postseason, because this team, they were constructed to win a championship. They're not built for getting regular season wins at this point. The real issue I have during the regular season, why I don't think they're going to be as good as the 3 teams above them, is the age of this team. You got Damian Lillard, who on the older side, Chris Middleton, who might not have like 2 ACLs anymore, Torian Prince, who's 30 years old. Giannis is the youngest player in the starting lineup, and then Brook Lopez. So during the regular season, when you're playing 82 games, a lack of depth on this team too. Their only rotation bench pieces are Gary Trent, who they picked up for the minimum, and Bobby Portis. So that's really where I have the questions, is the depth and the age. Obviously the
They
star
got Torian
power's
Prince.
there. Obviously the star power's there.
Oh, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. He played good for us. I want to say he played good for us. Like,
I mean,
Yeah,
he's okay.
he's
He's average starter. Good for, okay. He's not
Still
going to
have
change
Pat
anything
Connaughton,
for
too.
them.
yeah,
He's
he's a bench. He's a good bench player.
He's not on their bench, buddy. He's starting.
And
for
they
them.
have who?
Who's starting?
Torian?
Who's starting?
Yes.
Oh well,
I said Pat Connaughton. Pat Connaughton's on the roster.
Isn't Pat Connaughton starting?
No, Torian Prince
No.
is starting, is what I'm telling you.
Bobby.
Yeah.
Bobby.
Except
And
for
he's,
them.
we still
and
got
he's
Robert.
on.
We still got
and he's
Robert
30 years
Portis,
old.
man.
But the age is an issue, because during an 82-game regular season, you're relying on Brook Lopez, Chris Middleton, Dame, which they're good players. Don't get me wrong, but you push an 82-game regular season, like they will have some games where they sit out, might be a little banged up, injured. I don't see them winning as many games as the team above them, who are deeper, who have a little more well-rounded roster in terms of depth. So again, this team is kind of focused on the postseason. So as long as they make a top 5 seed and get home court advantage, that's all that matters to them, which I think they will. But I also don't think that this team's deep enough. Who knows? Maybe some of the young guys that they drafted can pick up a role. But right now, this is where I'm feeling them at number 4.
Yeah, got to take into account the rest games that they're going to have to with the age. So
Exactly.
I also have them
Nigga,
at number
Sixers
4,
gonna do the
guys.
same shit.
nah,
I disagree.
I don't.
Tyrese Maxey's like
Expecting PG
25.
playing
What
every-
the fuck?
Okay, obviously not Tyrese, but PG and Embiid. You think they're not
Why
gonna
not?
be seeing games?
Embiid's
I mean,
younger
PG
than
usually
half
plays.
this roster.
I don't know,
days.
matter. So he's also more injury prone than the entire roster.
I mean,
I don't
Giannis
see
been
a
hurt.
reason why they
Because
won't play
Middleton.
games. Honestly,
Giannis hasn't been healthy his whole career either. Don't act like Giannis some Iron Man,
No,
Yeah,
of course
he's been
not.
hurt
But
the past few
he's much better than what's the name. I think that. Okay, well, you guys all have the Bucks at 4, right?
Facts.
Okay, so obviously I have the Bucks at 3. I think that they're gonna have a much better season this year, considering that they're gonna have another year to gel together. I think Damian Lillard was picking it up at the end of last season. Hopefully, Chris Middleton gets bionic knees like Lonzo, but that's yet to be seen. But I think that they're not the deepest team in the universe, but I think that the Gary Trent and the Torian Prince pickups were decent. Pat Connaughton's a decent role player.
Bobby.
Shit. Oh my God, Bobby Portis is one of my favorite role players in the league. He brings that fire and that energy. I think that if they can buy into and they have 40-year-old Lopez, who he's old, but at the end of the day, he's still one of the better shot blockers in the league, and that's a useful thing. I think that if Dame and Giannis can both get a healthy season in, and they can like have a I know it's Doc Rivers at the end of the day, but he's still a good enough coach to win some regular season games. So I think they have a much better and much improved regular season this year.
Yeah, I can see it, but I disagree as well. This is where I have the Philadelphia 76ers. I think the addition of Paul George and Gabe, like Gabe mentioned, all their depth that they have, it's going to be a different team. You don't have to rely on Joel Embiid to give you 35 a night anymore. I think he'll take a lesser role, and in that, he will play more games. He's still an MVP candidate or MVP caliber player, superstar player that you rely on to be your number one. And I feel like they'll start the season off strong with him being healthy to start off the season. Tyrese Maxey taking another leap, like we always discuss. I think this is the year that they'll be in contention for a championship, and they'll showcase that through good habits in the regular season, and they'll rely on their bench a bit more coming into the season. And everyone else will, I think, just play better and elevate each other based off their roles and execution. Coaching is good too with Nick Nurse. So
Yeah.
I like this roster being top 3.
I agree for sure. Everything Hassan said and then some.
Yeah, I'm with you guys there.
No.
I got the 76ers at 3 as well. And
Wrong.
even I think they'll have a better regular season. They have way more depth. Kelly Oubre signing Caleb Martin, Andre Drummond as a backup big. I think they'll be totally fine. The coaching also gives me a lot of confidence. This guy loves that fucking name, bro.
I think Jared McCain will be good too.
Hassan, what are these?
Yeah, Jared McCain. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so
Okay.
Yeah, 76ers, yeah, they'll be good. I think even with Paul George and Embiid missing games, now that it's not just one of them on the team that you got to rely on, you got both. They can kind of switch off, and I think they'll still be fine. You know, Max is going to show up on a nightly basis, and him taking a huge step last year, I only see better things for him in his future. The game's going to open up for him now. You know, Paul George, he can play at any position. He can play on the ball, off the ball, so it's not like incorporating him is going to be a struggle or like it's going to be an issue. Fitting him in playing with Embiid, I think it's going to be a perfect fit as well. So it's going to only open up the game up for Maxey, for Embiid more, for everybody. I trust with the coaching, they'll put him in the right spots. And yeah, I just believe that this team, is definitely in the regular season at least, they're going to be able to get it done and be a top 3 seed.
And that's exactly what we're talking about. Regular season, number 3, the Philadelphia 76ers.
Plus, they got rid of the worst starter in the NBA in Tobias Harris. That's always a plus.
Facts.
And they don't have that negativity James Harden on the team, Hassan. Can you believe it?
Not facts.
The
best point guard in the NBA?
Super fast.
No.
Oh, brother.
All right, number 2 seed. I think we can all agree on this one, right?
The Boston Celtics.
Okay.
Duh.
Omari
knew.
I don't got the Celtics here.
No, I know I'm trolling. I got the Knicks.
That.
Okay.
And this orange sucks. This is not orange at all.
The green is better.
Yeah.
Naruto.
I'll just go back to red.
Yeah, shout out to the
Hassan's
Knicks.
room looks orange.
Yeah, shout out to the Knicks.
Yeah.
I'll do the blue. The Knicks do have blue.
Yeah, that's good. Shout out to the. Hold on, let me see if I can get some blue. No, that's.
But yeah, so I mean, you know, when it gets to the top of the list, it's usually pretty close,
Blue.
pretty the
That's
same.
purple.
I think the Knicks, especially in light of the Cat trade, it was an upgrade, but the Celtics is almost like they're almost just like, I'm not gonna say bootleg Celtics, like makeup. You know what I mean?
No, you could say that. Honestly, I see
you know
it.
what I mean when it comes to team makeup, like they're like a little bit like bootleg
They're not as
Celtics.
deep.
They got the
That's
stretch,
a good.
they got
That's
the
a good
stretch big.
simile.
They have the stretch big. They have 2 elite, not elite wings, but it's just like defensively they're good wings. Their offense comes from the wings on the Celtics, but the offense comes from mostly the point guard on the Knicks. So that's the only difference. But yeah, their team makeup in terms of like personnel is pretty similar. But I don't think that, at least in the regular season, the Celtics are kind of just like regular season stompers at the end of the day too. They've always been a very good regular season team, like no matter what team they had. So I think that they're gonna, with this level of talent, they'll be the 1 seed. But you know,
I also think
on playoff
the
times,
Knicks.
on playoff times, I don't know.
The Knicks also with the Cat addition and also just getting Mikal, it's just gonna take some time for them to gel a little bit.
Yeah,
You know, especially with Tibbs demanding so much out of his players and like,
Yeah.
you know, having to play a lot of minutes. So I think they'll be good. Obviously, number 2 seed, they're going to be one of the favorites to come out of the East 100%. But the Celtics are just kind of on a different level. Like, they can afford to, like, literally sit Tatum for a game against a bad team and still end up winning. So, yeah, I
Jalen
think,
Brown was saying that they can play Sam Hauser and freaking Peyton Pritchard against
yeah, and
the
then just
Pistons.
have them take over.
Yeah, it's too deep, man.
Yeah, and I also think I know you guys aren't a fan of this guy, but I think Joe Mazzulla is one of the better coaches in the league. I do think that
I'm starting to believe that.
I agree too. Wait, when do we say we're not a fan?
Well, I know Hassan
I
wasn't really.
Hassan.
Yeah,
I was actually talking good about him.
I still think any coach can win with that roster, but I like his mentality coming into this season and what he's kind of implementing into his team. So
yeah, I just feel like he keeps the players like even keel, puts them in the right spots. He's not a great, amazing coach in the sense of like, oh, he's doing some inspiring, like, you know what I mean, like next level coaching, X's and O's, but he's putting the players in the right position. He's managing the personalities. He's making sure everyone understands what they have to do. And I think as long as he's doing that, especially with a team this talented, that's more than enough. So I think they're just the Celtics are just a complete team, which is, why we probably all have a number 1 in the regular season. I think really where we want them to fail is the playoffs, if we can all agree there. But
facts. I hope you guys lose.
Yeah, the best team in the NBA. Style the same roster. I don't think anybody who's made any additions to really stop them from being the best team in the NBA. The Knicks have the best chance right now.
Dude, the Celtics picked up Lonnie Walker for the low too, so that's another guy that can beat you on a given night. Like,
man, and he might be like a G League player for them apparently. So,
which is crazy, bro. Like, he's definitely NBA. I mean, he's not amazing, but he could play in the NBA.
100%. Lonnie Walker.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, but
you see how he did Curry. All he got to do is show him the Curry tapes.
Hey, those Curry tapes are. I like.
He just have a roster spot just off that one highlight.
They're saved on my phone,
bro. That one game.
That one game.
He saved that like run, by the way. Like,
he actually saved that series pretty much.
I know.
Yeah, you guys don't even want to sign him to the roster.
Hey,
man, I'd take him back.
I'll take
it back. We have
too.
too many guards, bro. We have too many guards.
Yeah,
That's
we
the
have a lot
problem.
of guards.
Let's get him back once we have not too many guards.
Yeah, well, we should trade for some bigs, I think.
Yeah.
Fucking all we got is Koloko, bro.
Koloko.
Dude, I'm not even joking.
No, I know. Sad. Just saying his name is so funny, bro, because that's all we did this whole offseason. And JJ
I think the East is going to be pretty interesting, though, from the top 3 teams, or even top 4 with the Bucks, to see how they do.
Top 6, top 7 are spicy.
I'll do you one further. I think the middle is going to be interesting too. In that like Pacers, Cavs, Magic, Heat.
I'm saying.
I think.
I think
Hornets are going to get a 6 seed. Hornets number 6 seed is the Gabe's hot take of the day.
I guess my hot take is Pacers at 8, but
that is a good hot take.
How about give a hot take that you guys maybe didn't even like put in your predictions, but like, oh, I could see this happening. You know what I mean? Like, I could see like the Heat getting to the 3 seed or something. Even though I didn't predict it, like maybe y'all got any hot takes?
Number 2.
Celtics number 2.
That is a hot take, kind of.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah, you're right. I'd say the Hornets making the playoffs. I feel like they do have potential this year in terms of talent. If coaching really is if he's like a guru or anything like that, then maybe they could do it. So that'd be my hot take.
I say Magic.
No, go ahead. I want to hear it.
I was gonna say Magic being top 4.
I like that.
That's my hot take.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a little crazier hot take for the East. Pistons are a play-in team this year. They're a 10 seed or a 9 seed. They can do it.
That's frosty.
That's not. Yeah,
they can do it.
Because if they all got to beat out is like the Bulls, Hawks, or the Hornets. I think not. I'm not saying it will happen, but I don't think that's a crazy proposition.
It could.
Yeah, I don't know.
LaVine can get hurt again.
Simmons is all-star this year.
That's the hardest one.
Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up for the day.
All you gotta do is be good for
we're literally
season to make it.
Now we're
what you Gabe?
Hassan, take that back. I can't let that slide. Take it back.
Yeah, I'm just joking. He's not gonna be all-star.
As long he got to play first, bro. Fuck all-star.
Yeah. If he can play the first 25 games and be legit, then he maybe, but it won't happen. So.
Gabe, do you have a hot take?
Raptors 7.
Is that hot? But I mean, I still don't think that's gonna happen.
That's not likely.
Yeah, I guess
not likely.
Yeah, it's hot.
Hot take. Pacers number 3. If they keep like a god tier thing going, it might not happen. But
that's a hot take for sure.
Yeah,
Pacers top 3.
Yeah,
it's middle of the pack team, middle of the playoff
Hey.
pack.
Let him cook.
Yeah.
All right, man. We get it, but I got to do it. I'm not gonna lie.
Another standings in the books. Our third one. I
Yeah.
kind of want to count our first two to see who got them correct.
Oh, you know what I want to do, you guys? We should get like our combined lists, put them in for a YouTube video, put them in a bracket and do a playoff prediction based off our bracket, like on a bracket simulator.
That's pretty fire.
That'll be a good video idea. We could do like on a Friday, Saturday, whatever. One of those days. It'll be good.
Down.
Wait, what are you saying? Say it again.
So you know our list, how we gave our list today?
Yeah.
Based on our list, whatever's like the most common ones, and we could come to an agreement. We could do a playoff simulator with our list. And we see, the 2025. We could title it, this team will win the 2025 NBA championship.
We should do that after we do the West and just like do both conferences in the same video.
Yeah, we could do it. It'll be like that video, then the Western, then the Eastern winner, and then the Western winner. Or
no, Omari lag out. I think he did.
Yeah, probably
Nah, right
both
here.
froze.
No, he lagged. He's frozen.
Yeah,
Turn
he's
your
frozen.
camera on.
His camera's frozen.
Turn it on and off.
Well,
Why?
that's probably
Oh,
time
it's
to
frozen?
wrap it up. To be honest.
Yeah, why are you just frozen? He's still frozen.
It's still-
Hey, yo, I gotta take a pic of this.
Nah, that was crazy. Oh, it's because I was fucking with the background shit at first.
I'm gonna send it in the chat right now.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Gabe. I also want
Always
to take a
do.
list of there. You're back.
Yeah,
Of what
work?
our
All right,
predictions were the first 2 years to see who's.
Oh,
had
that's a good one, Huss. That's a.
correct.
Should we do that
ones.
now or later? If it's
You know what
quick?
we should do
No,
at the
yeah,
end of the
that sounds
year? We should have like a point system where like if you're like if you're exactly on the right seed, you get like 5 points. If you're one away, you get like 3. If you're 2 away, you get like
That's
1
correct.
point.
I like it. I like
and then
it.
add up who had the most points and who was the closest to like the standing predictions.
From before the season started. I like that. That's a
Yeah,
good
I'm
one.
down for that.
I like that.
Just-
I'm gonna keep my list.
Oh yeah,
I'm
we'll
gonna
have the
keep my
video
list.
actually. I'm gonna keep my list too, but we have the video too.
Yeah,
so,
the video's here too.
Yeah.
It'll be stuck. It'll be in my notes for sure. So
yeah.
I
Good
like
ideas,
it. I like
guys. Good lists today.
All right, yeah, good episode. If you're watching this after the fact in the VODs, let us know your predictions in the comment section below, and you guys can come back to the video too and see how correct you were at the end of the year. You guys can join us, see how stupid we fucking got this thing.
I think
We're
we'll
probably
make
gonna
a
be wrong in
after
so many
video
things.
for
I'm
our
100% correct this list, guys. Just letting you know.
playing and
yeah,
up.
mine's gonna be 100%. I promise.
Same here, as always.
Lock it up.
Anyway, the pace is AC, but nigga.
Yeah, watch.
Yeah, AC is crazy, but we'll see. Who knows?
Hey man, I'm dying on this hill. They'll be number 8.
No.
All right. That'll wrap it up for this episode of the Bar Don't Lie podcast. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Drop a like, drop a sub, drop that guy from the team.
That nigga off the screen.
What y'all talking about? What
Wrong
happened?
with you?
That's a
happened?
note to end it because we're gonna get
Yeah,
demonetized.
got
for
blur
this.
that nigga face out.
All right. Appreciate. Hold up. And you already know what we got to play on the way out. Shout out to everybody.
A former
especially-
Hornet. Miles
Yeah,
Bridges
we do. We
teammate.
do. Do I have this shit
Yes,
here?
sir.
Yup.
Yo, Kai,
Thank you for tuning in
That's
to
you?
this episode.
love
Drop a
yourself,
like, drop a
know
sub.
yourself, want yourself.
Check out the clips.
Go to bed.
Check out the
Love you.
TikTok. Check out the Instagram. And we'll see you next
I'm harder
time.
than Christ and I'm harder than
I
Mike.
said I'm harder than Mike.
In the movie, it's
Cause
like
this thing is like,
never been spiked. Never been too. This what I do.
This what I do.
I've been with the
Yeah,
quiet break.
yeah,
I am
yeah,
the goon. They got me all bent.
Got me all bent. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I've been like, oh, since a child.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.